Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for the Super round of Super Rugby Pacific. A new stadium is in play here too. One New Zealand stadium in Christchurch for the first time, and it's going to have the Crusaders on that turf. They are struggling up against Australian sides, but they are still within reach of that top six. So it's going to be a very intriguing game. They have lost to the Force just last week. They lost to the Brumbies. That was at the old stadium, Apollo Project Stadium, or formerly known as Orange Theory, and I believe they lost to the Reds as well, so not exactly a great run up against these Aussie teams, but a big chance for redemption, and in fact they are still sitting in sixth in the overall standings, and a big win here over the Waratahs would help them feel that little bit safer heading towards those playoff matches. There was a late change for the Crusaders as well. Super Rugby he is out with illness, so it does mean that Dallas McLeod will be out on that right wing with a new man off the bench in Kunawave. Some people will know him from the under-20s, but I hope you guys are all excited. It's a bit of an exciting time as well in terms of new stadium, new opportunities, great matchups throughout this weekend as well. I'm thoroughly excited to see what happens in this contest. We have got hi from Zach. Welcome in. Hope you are doing well. We have got that I'm cold. Says Jasmine, you are at the stadium, so obviously it's always going to be cold at this time of night and this time of the year in Christchurch. But hopefully you're enjoying the atmosphere of the new stadium. I know that someone won $5,000 earlier on doing like a 10-question quiz, so it's a bit of fun. But looking through at the Crusaders, in terms of their starting lineup, it will be Finley Brewis. Cody Taylor returns from his injury. Fletcher Null slots in as that number 3. Antonio Shalfoon alongside Taylor Cahill in the locking duo with Dom Gardner. Lester Fainga'anuku, he is there as the number 7. That is something that was a bit of a curveball in terms of the Crusaders lineup, although this is not the first time he has played 7. He actually was playing in Toulon a little bit as a 7 type of role, so it's been a hybrid for quite some time, and will be interesting to see what he can do here in the absence of a few of the other loose forwards. For the Crusaders in the number 8 jersey, it is Christian Leo Willie. He actually did have that captaincy in the game last week, and I believe that may be the last game that he gets the captaincy for quite some time. A few of these other Crusaders players like a Taylor, like a Will Jordan, he's not miles away from coming back into the side. Is Ofatoanga Fasi playing? Not in this game, nor in the Blues match either. I think they've got Ben Aki in the starting lineup, which will be quite intriguing, with Mason Tupaia making his way off the bench. But looking through at the back line, Noah Hotham and Taha Kimura as that 9 and 10 combination. Macca Springer out on the left wing. David Arvili returns in the midfield alongside Braden Enor. Sever Reese will not be playing out on the right wing like initially scheduled. Instead, it is Dallas McLeod who was going to be making his way off the bench. And then at number 15, it is Johnny McNichol in the starting lineup for the Waratahs. Isaac Kailea, Bilal Fainga'anuku, and also Amoni as the number 3. Philip and Amata Sero as the locking duo with Angus Scott Young at 6. Charlie Gamble, number 7, and Pete Samu, the big man, slots in at 8. Jake Gordon and Jack DeBresini as the 9 and 10 combo. Sid Harvey coming off the double last week. He moves out onto the left wing. Lawson Crichton and Joey Walton in the middle of the field. And then Andrew Callaway with Max Jorgensen as that number 15. We have got there, oh no, Jordan says, Shane, you're still a little way away from making his return. We have got there, Highland Hamish says, Roll, welcome in, hope you are doing extremely well and crack a new stadium, Leicester packing down at 7. Yeah, something that he has done before, but just not for the Crusaders. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not that continues on. If he has a successful day, whether or not something internationally that Rennie could look at for Fainga'anuku. But yeah, a little bit of a unique situation with the fact that they have lost so many players due to injury in that loose forward trio that they now have to look towards those backs as the guys who can fill the gap. Theoretically, they probably did have other loose forwards, but it's much more exciting when you chuck a bloke who plays centre or wing into that mix. We have got Crusaders B team. So here's Hobbit there. And when is this match starting? It is starting at 7:35. So that is actually a little bit of a different start time than we used to for Super Rugby. It is just down to it being the Super round. The game tomorrow night, I believe, is also going to be starting at 7:35 for the later match of the two. Whereas the Sunday games, they're a little bit earlier. I believe 2 p.m. and maybe about 4:15 or somewhere around there, maybe even 4:30 for that time. Did your heart tell you that the Waratahs are the favourites here? Not really, no. The Crusaders, like I said, they've struggled up against Aussie teams, but this game here really determines how this new stadium's going to go in terms of the Crusaders. Are they going to start a winning streak, or are they going to start off, unfortunately, what would be a start of a losing streak at this new stadium. They have still got a few more games to come at this location, but they are up against tough New Zealand sides. I know they're playing the Hurricanes later on in about 4 weeks' time. There's a few other New Zealand derbies still to come. When is the starting? Says Oliver once again, 7:35 is the time that the kickoff will be beginning. We have got the Crusaders horses not human enough to attend, says Jason. I think they're a bit heavy, unfortunately, with the hoof department, but I think they're going to put them on the screen, which I think some people are happy enough about. I'm a fan of the winger on winger staying at the ruck, or stay of the ruck, says Shane there. And we have got their kia ora from North Queensland, go the Crusaders, says a real Ando there. They have currently the pre-match stuff going on before they do get into this contest. Do let me know your score predictions for this one. Can I ask who you got to win? Like I said, Crusaders kind of have to, because or else then they will hear unlimited trash talk from the other teams. So they, at the new stadium, a big win here would be ideal, but the chances of a big win are a little bit slimmer. I think that this Waratahs side are going to try and push them a little bit, and they've got the players to do so. You've got Jorgensen in there, Callaway, Sid Harvey, all showing their class throughout this season already. The loose forwards, Gamble and Pete Samu, the locking duo solid. And you'd almost say this is a more well-set Waratahs side than this Crusaders team in terms of the in and outs of the lineup for the Crusaders. No Blackadder, no Will Jordan, no Jamie Hanna. There are guys missing. No Tamaiti Williams. And that's just to name about 4 of them. No Sevu Reece for this game as well. And we'll be streaming the first game tomorrow, I believe so. So that is going to be Hurricanes versus Brumbies. So that will be the one that we do cover. Following that, there's Reds versus Blues. We're also going to be covering it. Who's the number 23 for the Crusaders? Not familiar with that name. I believe it is the fella from the under-20s from not too long ago, Kunawave. He was a dangerous winger for the AB's juniors in the last Rugby Championship, and I believe even the Rugby Championship before that too. Does score a lot of tries. Looks like he's bulked up a little bit as well since a couple years ago. So, yeah, he could be a handy enough option. Definitely Sevu Reece is only out with illness, but with that injury list being as long as it is for the Crusaders, adding a few other guys in the mix probably isn't a bad idea either. This adds test level field, says BTW Pads. Anything from Perth, Hamish. I spent the year bagging the Force, and they played so well last week. I hope the Crusaders can get up tonight. And the stadium looks awesome, says Paul Elliott. Yeah, looks like quite the atmosphere at the stands, or in the stands as well, for this contest. I believe this game was sold out. And next 2 days of Super Rugby in the Super Round are going to be pretty epic there too. What happened in 2011 with the Crusaders, etc.? What happened in 2011? What did happen with the Crusaders in 2011? I don't actually know. Why Sevu Reece not playing? Sickness. So he was ruled out late, and that brought in Dallas McLeod into the starting lineup, and then also Kunawave making his way off of the bench. Solid stadium, one fortress. Says the AI underdog pick, and it was something that Will Jordan brushed upon before the game. Said now that the old era stadium is over, this is now where they have to try and build up that reputation at the stadium as well. It could be a little bit of a different style that we see from the Crusaders. They are not used to playing with a roof, unless, of course, they are heading down to Dunedin. But even something that most New Zealand sides aren't completely used to be fair. Is it that the reason they moved to the Apollo Stadium? I'm really not sure what that was slightly before my Super Rugby time. I assume you're talking about the Lancaster Park to Apollo Projects one, right? I believe Forsyth Bar is still the best stadium. This is just the flavour of the month, says Jason. I think that this stadium, if it's a success here, we're going to see much less rugby taking place down in Dunedin. Sad reality of it. I don't think the All Blacks head back to Dunedin this year. And I don't think they're actually booked in for one. And then next year, it's probably 50-50 whether or not they'll go right down south, or whether they will stick with maybe North Island, and then also maybe Christchurch once more. We flagged Welly tests till we start winning 10 plus in a row, says Shane. Looks like this Crusaders side are doing a haka here for their first game on the new turf. Starts 0-0. You can't rely on history to save you, which I think is what the Crusaders were slightly brushing upon. They said that this is the time to try and build that newer legacy for their side. Of course, they've had some brilliant runs in the past, but even just this season, they are 0-3 in games up against Australian sides just as of late. The Brumbies beating them at Apollo Projects. They lost to the Western Force last week. They're looking to get off to a great start here at the new stadium. We have got their Waikato Stadium, still the best stadium for me. I'm not being biased, I just love how close it is to the field, says the Sporting Kiwi. And also, Dunedin 2.0, I reckon, says Haino. Yeah, there have been those similarities thrown out there between this one and Forsyth Bar. Fainga'anuku 7, correct, yes. Somewhere that he did play a little bit for Toulon back in his top 14 days, but has never played it during a match for the Crusaders, at least not officially on paper. You'll notice that quite a bit throughout the season. He's found himself in the breakdowns. He does like getting into the action, a little bit similar to Super Rugby. How if they see the opportunity to pick and go from the back, they will go for it. So in a way, it's just a different number on his back, but you'll probably still see him in the back line alongside being in that forward pack officially as well. Crusaders 42, New South Wales 21. Says Matthew for his score prediction there. Crusaders, they might have to stop there. Yeah, Havili was about to run over the top of the people with the cameras and the microphone. The haka has been done. The Waratahs, they will be up for the challenge. This does have quite a big match feel about it. And to be fair, with how the table sits at the moment, this is kind of the equivalent of a playoff game per se. Whoever wins this game has a lot closer chance of making it to that top 6. The loser of this contest, particularly if it is the Waratahs, they would have a lot of ground to try and make up to get back into that top 6 with only the limited rounds remaining that we have. Although, to be fair, there's still a few more weeks. Still plenty of movement can take place. Hoof-hearted, says Nara there. To Mighty Williams, he is out there on the park, which is great to see. He recently had that injury of his back. I feel like a lot of backs can certainly play at flanker. Well, that's the thing. There's a lot of guys now, you look through it, particularly like their centre department, isn't it? Timothy Tavatanawai. He wouldn't look out of place at all in a loose forward trio with the way that he works in the breakdowns. Even someone, like to a certain extent, the way that someone like a Sevu Reece joins those breakdowns looks very loose forward-esque, but of course, size-wise is something that they also look at, which is where Lester Fainga'anuku, to be fair, he is built like a forward. He's as quick as a back at times. So it's going to be interesting. And he's got the headgear on, so that means he should be getting into his business throughout these breakdowns and having a lot of fun with Pete Samu, Charlie Gamble, and Angus Scott Young. But this game kicks off in Christchurch at One New Zealand Stadium for the first time ever at this location. And the Crusaders, they are in possession inside of the 22. Lester Fainga'anuku, he stands out like a sore thumb with that white headgear on. We're able to see him from a mile away. Now Noah Hotham rolling this one back. Going to be going for the box kick from inside of the 20. No breeze to deal with. And that one has gone out off the hand of Dallas McLeod. Unless they're going to get smashed by Pete Samu. Says Haino there. It'll be an interesting head-to-head. I'm looking forward to Charlie Gamble getting in there. I feel like he's the type of... He has that old school look, even though he's not actually that old, but he's got that old school mustache that makes you think that he won't, probably enjoy having people as normal backs going into that loose forward trio. He may try and put in a couple big hits along the way, although it looks like he's ditched the mustache for a beard. Slightly unfortunate. Noah Hotham kicking this one up high again for another box kick after the Crusaders managed to get the possession back. Loose ball picked up by the captain, Matt Phillip, for this Waratahs side. There's an initial knock on from the Crusaders, so it will be scrum feed now for the Tars. Hey, good morning all, says Zakai. Welcome in. And first scrum, says Nara Boy. Yeah, first scrum on this new turf. Let's see whether or not it does get ripped up or whether it stays good. Oh, David Arveli also opting for the headgear for this Crusaders side. And go the Tars. Let's give Crusaders supporters something to cry about, says Dawood there. And we will see if David Arveli is AB's material, says Shane. And there's a lot of competitiveness in terms of that number 12 jersey at the moment for the ABs. Got Tupaia playing some of his best rugby ever. The name Geordie Barrett still gets thrown around in that 12 jersey too, even though some still want to see him move to 15. Pack weights 911 kgs for the Crusaders, 910 kgs for the Waratahs. So very even between these two sides in terms of pack weights. We have got there, I'm here. Hambone, sorry, I'm late, says Jared. No worries at all. Jorgensen, not a fullback for me. Very good winger, but not a fullback, says a Sporting Kiwi. So would you have perhaps gone with, well, it's a bit weird that they moved Sid Harvey out to the wing when Jorgensen plays wing, and Sid Harvey scored 2 tries from fullback, didn't he? Do you see this defensive battle? I think it will start off one, but then as soon as this game starts getting a little bit more open, we could see about 10 tries between the teams. There's a free kick already for the Waratahs. Quick tap taken by Jake Gordon. Tackled low by his opposite number, Noah Hotham. They're still looking for the turnover and the breakdown, and he's given away the penalty for in through the side. In fact, he was offside in that case. The first penalty goes against the number 7. And we have got their Waratahs to kick, says Zakaya. They are doing just that. I assume that you're at the stadium and you've decided you're going to play the spoiler role for this one. So do try and slightly delay it if possible. It would be greatly appreciated. We have got there, Sid Harvey has been playing good at fullback. Yeah, and Jorgensen's been going good on the wing. So it's a bit of a confusing change. Obviously, there's something about the way that this Crusaders side plays that they've decided they need to switch it. Is it a full crowd? It was a sellout, but whether or not it is a different story. I think that there's been a few people trying to offload tickets late, but I'm not sure whether or not they've sold them all. Sid Harvey is lining up this shot at the post from about 35 angle, or 35 metres out on the angle, to the boos of the Crusaders fans. But he struck it straight down the middle of the youngster. It wasn't too long ago he was in the under-20 setup, but that was a cool, calm, collected kick. And the first points at the new stadium have gone the way of the Waratahs. We have got over the pots, says Zach Simpson. And Takaha capacity is 30k, says Zakai. And also great stadium, a sellout. I'm not sure how many it holds, says... Oh, well, that's the answer to that one. Kicked off now. And a drop ball from Max Jorgensen, picked up by Fletcher Null. History as well, says NZ Guy. There will be a lot of history made at this stadium, including either the first ever win for the home side or the first Australian side to win at this new stadium. Now, Braden Inor is back in the midfield as well, alongside Havili. Noah Hotham goes across to Leicester. Fainga'anuku is tackled by Amata Sero. Little bit of a counter ruck there from Charlie Gamble. Makes the tackle on Noah Hotham. Going back across to the left-hand side. Oh, Braden Inor's riding one of the... Oh, and Andrew Callaway's not happy about it either. He didn't want to be a mechanical bull in this game. Going off to the right-hand side. I will mention it wasn't on purpose by Inor. It just ended up with a man underneath him. Right-hand side. Taha Kimura. Wide cut-out pass from David Havili going into the hands of Dallas McLeod. The late inclusion in this contest. A little bit of slipping and sliding from the Waratahs players on the turf. Noah Hotham back across to the left. Antonio Shalfoon. Tackled 22 metres out. It's a couple more post-contact past Charlie Gamble. Kimura. And behind there, wide cut-out pass from Johnny McNichol. Bounces into the hands of Macca Springer. I don't think I've seen Cody Taylor yet. No one ever talks about take the first points, first try. Says, no one can ever take away the first points or try, says NZ Guy. Now going off to the left-hand side again. What happened to Reves Rehana? Injury, I believe. Unfortunately, the Crusaders have been plagued with them, just like a lot of these Super Rugby sides. The stage of the comp, good two-man tackle on Dom Gardner. Pick and go from Leicester, Fainga'anuku. Tackled again. They're losing metres here, the Crusaders, sitting about phase 15. Camera angle, we're like right above the players at this angle. Currently, very steep. Noah Hotham, pick and go. Thought about the offload, only had Waratahs players in support. Now back to the left-hand side. Fainga'anuku steps round one. Offload on the outside to Dom Gardner. Close to the sideline. Dragged down by Max Jorgensen. Now Hotham goes back across. Bounce past there. Taylor. Drop ball. It's knocked on. And it's picked up by Sid Harvey. It's going to become a foot race. He's got a man with him. I think his Waratahs teammate is saying just back himself and keep on running. Missed tackle from Harvey. Tackled 40 metres out. Gordon back across to the right-hand side to Amata Sero. Straight on the ball and unlucky not to get the turnover there for David Havili. Now breaking the line. Jorgensen with the offload to Joey Walton. Passed on the outside. Bit of a fumble. Keeping the ball alive there for the Tars. Running short side. Risky from Jorgensen. It's going to curve and go into touch about a metre out from the Crusaders line. It was a pretty nice play from this Tahs side, and they have decided to go quickly there, the Crusaders. They exit their own 22, and it will now be the Waratahs who have got themselves the line out about 25 metres out. I missed a lot of chat during that time, I do think, so I do apologise for that. We have got there, I don't get why people don't synchronise your commentary with the play, 30 seconds today. Says I Lollipop. Yeah, sometimes people get it nicely synced up. Other times, I always feel bad if I'm ahead of someone who is trying to watch it as well. Jake Gordon going off to the left-hand side. We are yet to see the first try at this stadium, but tell you what, the Waratahs were not a mile away just then, and they still are looking to get through. There is another advantage. It's going to be offside against the Crusaders once more. Have you coloured your hair, Amy? Not that I know of. Now Jake Gordon going off to the right-hand side. A Matasero, two-man tackle from Taylor and also Cahill. I'll go back now for the penalty. Crusaders with concrete in their boots. Says Zakai, and good D from the Tahs, says Nada Boy. This one's going to be about maybe 30 metres out. This one is a kickable 3 again, but it's whether or not the Waratahs, they're going to take it. Got the tee in hand for Sid Harvey. Evening, Hamish, says David the Mole. Welcome in. You are doing extremely well, and hope you're excited for the Super Round. In fact, that is a question while Sid Harvey lines up the shot. Which game of the 5 are you looking forward to the most, ladies and gents? Do let me know, and if you're unsure of what games there are, these are the match. No, they're not. Wait for it. No, hang on. These are the matches that are taking place. You can see the odds there as well, but that is, of course, deceptive, as we saw Fiji and Roy's $9 underdogs last week get themselves the victory over the Brumbies. Sid Harvey has snuck that one over the post as well, so that is going to make the score now 6-0 in favour of this Waratahs side. Looks like a few Waratahs supporters are in the stands. One thing they mentioned about earlier on, the fact that in Christchurch you can see so many different Super Rugby teams' kits all throughout the city. It's another good kick from Sid Harvey, though, to make the score now sitting at 6-0. Good pressure early from the away side. And just punishing that ill discipline of the Crusaders. 2 penalties given away within that half, and 2 times that the Tahs have been able to make the most of it. G'day, Hamish. Good turnout tonight. Setimus in there as well. Yeah, it's exciting times. Super round as well is almost a little bit like a moving round, definitely with some of the head-to-heads that are taking place. Whoever wins this game, I feel, has a much better chance of making that top 6 than the opposition in this contest. Now Noah Hotham goes back across to the right-hand side to Fletcher Null. Beautiful stadium too, says Setimus. Now back into the pocket. And will be Taha Kimura going for the kick in behind, and it's nicely curling back infield. It's actually going to stay alive. Jack Debrezini has a bit of a slip on the turf. Goes across now to Andrew Callaway, who will kick it into touch. Not a massive amount of distance on it. Crusaders now have themselves their first real attacking chance in a while, about 17 metres out from the line. Do you think the Tahs are still pissed about the hiding they got back in the day? Maybe. They also know that if they win this game, then it's all 4 Australian sides, I would think for the first time ever, would have beaten the Crusaders in a season, which is absolutely incredible. The stadium is incredibly impressive, says David the Mod there. Now, rolling maul. Told to get out of there was a Matasero, who has just decided to jump in there anyway, so the penalty advantage now in favour of the Crusaders. Now offloading back Dom Gardner, goes to Christian Leo, Willie Harvelli moves it on. There's numbers here to the right-hand side, chance to score it out wide. It's Dallas McLeod. The late inclusion in the lineup has just crossed the line for the first try in this match. Are we ever going to have the stadium? Oh no, I read that one about the stadium. Do you think the Tahs... Oh no, I read that one too. Do you believe after the late try by Wallace Satiti, the Hurricanes may have a difficult time rebounding? Probably not. I think that game realistically was a top-of-the-table clash, and both sides did at times play like a top-of-the-table team. So, they've got the Brumbies next. The Brumbies are probably the side that I'd be more concerned about in that contest, seeing as they've lost 2 in a row up against sides that they really would have loved to beat. That one. Great finish, though. Is it 2 in a row for the Brumbies, or maybe it's just the one that they've lost in a row? They did lose to the draw last week, though. They broke their drought, which was quite nice of them. Crazy man, could hear a pin drop, says the AA underdog pick. That one is a great strike from Taha Kimura. has gone over the posts, and it's now going to make the score 7-6 in favour of the Crusaders. And because in the future, I just got the first try in Takaha. Well, the interesting thing is, right, Dallas McLeod was initially going to be off the bench for this contest. So for him, he wouldn't have even been anticipating the chance of scoring the first try in this match. So it'll be a nice little moment for him for however long he is at the Crusaders. But kicked off into the 22. Stepping back on the inside is Christian Leo Willie, 7-6 now. Says Clifford, the scoreboard doesn't seem to want to give the Crusaders that try. Hopefully it updates soon. That one's gone into touch. And seems like it was kicked out on the full. Yes, it does. What does it say? 0-6, because the scoreboard's an online one and it doesn't like me much today. We have got the Crusaders keep up the good play, says Moa Hunters. Now line out throw here. Update the scoreline. It's an online scoreboard, so I just have to wait for it to update itself, unfortunately. Jake Gordon going away to the right-hand side. Joey Walton, big driving tackle on him. At about 22 metres out from the line for the Waratahs. Angus Scott Young moves into the 22 again here for the Tars. Short ball on the left-hand side. Crusaders back on defence. Now going right. Going to be Isaac Kailea. He's kind of come a long way in the last little while, Isaac Kailea. Oh, there we go. It's getting there. It's got 5 now. Moving away to the left-hand side for Jake Gordon. To Kailea once more. AFL penalty coming, says David the Mod. The last 2 times that they have made it into this area, the Tars, they have managed to get themselves that penalty advantage. Now going back across to the left-hand side, Jack Debrenzini can't quite make his way through. Now Gordon back across to the right. Angus Scott Young. Still moving forward. It is Amone this time. Sitting about 12 metres out from the try line now for this Waratahs team. Now back across to Debrenzini. Good tackle from Ienor. He's going to hold him up and try and turn it into a rolling maul, but the player has made his way to ground. Gordon with the low pass to Fainga'anuku. Moving it quickly here, 12 phases in a row. Rush defence from the Crusaders, trying to turn it into a rolling maul. This ball doesn't quite come out as of yet. Now it does. Gordon. Back across to Lawson Crichton. Another call of release from Nick Berry. Oh, that was a weird pass from Jake Gordon, and it was ruled as forward. That is now going to be the scrum feed for the Crusaders. And we have got the Matasero versus Scott Young's dad. Who wins the scrap, says the real Ando. Was it Scott Young's dad or Scott Young himself? I thought it was Angus Scott Young involved in the scrap rather than his dad. We have got there, this new stadium is very nice, says Highlanders fan. Did the Sharks lastly ostrich last week? They lost to the Ospreys in the end, I think is what you were asking. Can you explain the new rule on referees now having full discretion on penalty tries, says Robert? Probably not really. Someone much smarter than myself possibly could, but normally the new rules, you get used to them from watching them in effect. But yeah, we'll wait and see. Hopefully we don't have to have any of these ones. Dad offered to fight him. That's a bit weird, isn't it? Why didn't Angus Scott... Well, I mean, Angus Scott Young did try and fight him, didn't he? And it didn't go too well. So I guess maybe his dad's a better fighter. That he needs his dad to do it for him. Going off to the right-hand side. Dallas McLeod close to the sideline. That ball's going to be stolen by Samu, but they'll go back for the Crusaders penalty. And, skill for skill as the man, Yo. Front row collapsing penalty. Won by the Crusaders. Heavy strapping on Taha Kimura's left leg here. Got quite a long injury list at this stage, the Crusaders. Will Jordan, few weeks away from returning. The turf held up to that scrum, says Nada Boy. Yeah, held up quite well. We've seen a few guys slipping along the way. I forgot again who got the first try. It was Dallas McLeod. Out on that right wing, the late replacement for Sever Reese. It's going to be a knock-on against the Waratahs here, or at least the advantage for one. Dallas McLeod. Tackle once more, Taha Kimura going for the chip and behind. It looks like Ienor chasing after it, and he's managed to take it nicely on the halfway line. Now moving away to the left, Lester Fainga'anuku charging towards the left wing, and he might go a little bit too far. He's managed to get the offload to Johnny McNichol on his inside. Hotham back across to the right, big carry from Gardner. Crusaders seem like they have got a little bit of a spring in their step here on the attack. another centre or wing, he played a little bit of both. Dallas McLeod, he was initially going to be off the bench, and he's got the ball again here. Doesn't quite put in the offload to Cody Taylor. Hotham, across to the left-hand side. We are currently 17 minutes through the first game at One New Zealand Stadium in Christchurch, and Noah Hotham's just thrown a forward pass on the outside to Cody Taylor, who's thrown a silly offload, and it's gone into the hands of the Waratahs. Managed to reprieve the pressure. Now get themselves back on the attack. In your opinion, do you feel Dutton Papali'i will be back to form? Well, he's going overseas, so I'll be interested to see how he gets on over there. I don't think they'll end up selecting him in the ABs due to him leaving. Oh, two men going up for that ball, and it's going to bounce back onto the side of the Crusaders. Nice pass there from Antonio Chalfoun, actually passing it from the deck. As with an E, there's a knock on there from Braden Enor. Will be the scrum feed now for the Waratahs, 45 out from their own line. Hi, Hamish says, Jacob, welcome in. Now we have there, the game is looking like a middle of the table game, says Phil, and it is. It's 6 versus 7. In this case, whoever wins this game gets a nice boost of a lead over their counterparts. As you can see here, the Crusaders, they are sitting in 6th, 21 points. But if they win this game with a bonus, they move up to 4th, which theoretically could actually be where they stay if all of the favourites were able to win their games throughout the rest of the round. But of course, the first task is win this game for either of these two sides. The Waratahs, theoretically, if they were to win with the bonus point, they can go as high as 5th in the overall standings. Even if they just won, they'd go to 5th. And even if the Crusaders just won, they'd go to 5th. So everyone's probably going to 5th at the end of this game, whoever gets the victory. Now going back across to the left-hand side. Now moving it right. Nice hands there from Angus Scott Young. Moving away to the left, Jack Dibrazini tries to spin there, was Lawson Crichton, gets back up to his feet as he wasn't held, makes an extra 5 or so metres. Noah Hotham going over the ball and wins the penalty, the halfback. It was good commitment from the number 9. And big game for the Crusaders. And also tell us about Sarah Hammy. Who's Sarah? Is that the only Sarah I can think of off the top of my head is Sarah Hirini, but I assume that's not the Sarah you're talking about. Is she playing at the moment, Sarah Hirini, or is she injured? Or does she have a baby? One of the two, I think. We have got there, and they go to 6, says Moa Hunters. Or they go to 6, says Moa Hunters. Who goes to 6? The Waratahs or the Crusaders? I didn't see an Anzac remembrance before the game, says Nuttaboy. Normally they do that for the Saturday games. Which are taking place tomorrow, of course. So I assume there's going to be something before the Hurricanes Brumbies. Both sides are going to be wearing their Anzac kits. So, yeah, I'd say that they'll have the big kind of pre-match stuff going on for that one tomorrow. Now, knock on here from the Crusaders. It was something that let them down in the Western Force game last week. And we have got their Anzac this weekend, lest we forget, says David the Mod. They're just showing the pre-match haka from the Crusaders for this contest. And Waratahs go 6, says Moa Hunters. 1 second, we'll go like this. So why would they, if they win, you're saying they go 6th. They get 4 points for the victory. Unless, of course, you're awarding 2 bonus points to the Crusaders, in which case they would have to get themselves the 4 or 3 tries ahead and then also a bonus point for within the 7 points, I assume is what you're going with, right? Going away to the left-hand side. Now sitting about 42 metres out from the line. Pete Samu plays halfback, goes across to his captain, Phillip. That's what the movie's called, isn't it? Is that called Captain Phillips? Tom Hanks is in that one. Going off to the right-hand side, Jake Gordon back into the pocket. It's going to be, kicked backwards by Jack Dibringzini. Interesting cross-kick attempted. Does go into touch off the hand of a Waratah. And Macca, come on, brother, put these city slickers away, says Shane. Just showing the live standings. Way that it is sitting, the Crusaders would move up to 5th Morning, mate. Says, please welcome in. I hope you are doing extremely well. Hope you're excited for the Super Round as well as the URC. There's some super games going on in that competition this weekend. Top of the table clash between the Glasgow Warriors and the Stormers. Well, there's a few really important games for sides trying to book themselves a spot through the quarterfinals. Jake Gordon hanging on to this ball at the back of the Waratahs rolling maul. It does make its way forward quite proficiently. Still moving. And it's probably made about 10 metres from that rolling maul, if not maybe a couple more. This one's going to be kicked high by Jake Gordon. All trying to grab that one was Andrew Callaway. He has knocked it backwards. Low jumping into the breakdown was Pete Samu. He's told to get out of there. Noah Hotham. Back across to the right-hand side again to Christian Leo Willie. And I have Waratahs plus 16.5. Am I safe, you think? Very hard to tell. But very brave of you to do any sort of bet like that with a brand new stadium where we have no information about how the turf plays. So it may end up being just a donation to the betting agencies, but you'll find out when you see the turf. And like at the moment, neither of these sides have had any crazy, moments throughout the first 23 minutes. But then I guess that kind of works in your favour, right? Now line out throw here for Cody Taylor. Putting this ball in, slapped away to the right-hand side, so they do manage to retain that ball. The Crusaders charging up the middle. It is David Harvey offload to Leicester Fainga'anuku. About 40 metres out. Hotham's dropped that one, but it's gone backwards. Fletcher Null. And a wrestle for those couple extra metres there too. Now going away to the left-hand side. The turf is fast using golf terminology. Says, it was there from David. And Anzac biscuits are suitable for drinking in your cup of tea, says Jason. I think most biscuits are kind of tea dunking worthy, aren't they? Now, Fainga'anuku, he got kicked in the face by his teammate about 3 times in that breakdown. Now 40 metres out from the line here. It's still available. Noah Hotham chipping behind from David Harvey. It's going to be close to the sideline. The ball pulls up again, about 5 metres out from the line here. Jorgensen has to give that one a boot. That one hasn't managed to find touch. Now a lot of space open for Macca Springer getting back up to the feet. And about 30 metres out from the line. Super Rugby have gone backwards, says Jozzy. Like in terms of the amount of teams or in terms of the competitiveness or the competition, which part of it? Now, ball's still there for the Crusaders. Hotham. Cross there to Antonio Shalfoon. Now right-hand side once more. Christian Leo Willie, he's going to be tackled there once again. A few early carries for him in this contest. Johnny McNichol going away to the left-hand side. The tackle on Gardner. Both of these sides have actually been defending very nicely. Bit of biff in the middle of the field. Says Nada boy. 25 minutes in, and that's the penalty going the way of the Waratahs. Hamish, if you could could interview any player who is still alive, who would you pick? I don't really know. I feel like I wouldn't go for one of the big ones because then there's less pressure to do a good interview if it's someone who like I'd probably pick one of the guys from the Sevens maybe, just because I watch a lot of Sevens, so I might have a little bit more info on that. But I don't think I'm cut out for interviewing. I just sit there and agree the whole time, and then I forget to talk. We have got the Crusaders should have offered Riley Higgins a contract, says Hartley. Yeah, he's an interesting one, old Riley Higgins. I feel like he's probably got a huge amount of potential, but I'm curious to see where he ends up over the next kind of few years. Pete Samu going to be claiming that ball at the front of the line out from Flau Fainga'anuku. Now Callaway moves into the Crusaders 22 once more. Jay Gordon picking dough, almost goes through, but Dom Gardner manages to grab a leg. Angus Scott Young tackled by Leicester Fainga'anuku looking for the turnover. Can't get the steal. Now Isaac Kailea. Sitting about 7 metres out from the try line. So good chance for the Waratahs to get some more points on the board. They already have 6, none of which have come from a try. Matasero Passes it off to Isaac Kiley. A good early tackle from Braden Enor. Now pick and go from Amata Cero again. He's been busy in the last minute or so. Probably will have one or two more carries as well. But Joey Walton gets bulldozed backwards. So does Falau Fainga'anuku. It's brilliant 5-metre defence from the Crusaders here. But can it hold on? There's the knock on from Matt Phillip. It gives the scrum feed now for the Crusaders. Smoking opposition, says Willow. Waratahs is good this season. Don't know why they are in 7th. I think it's just been the consistency. We have got there. It's not competitive enough like the URC, says Josie. Springboks win New Zealand. See, I feel like it's not really an easy comparison to make, though, because URC has 16 teams. And, you know, the lowest team is Zebre. They have won 2 games. Next team up from them, the Dragons, they've also won 2 games. So if you're including the bottom teams, you know, 1 win for Moana, with the exception of them, the Western Force next side up is 3 wins. So, you know, separation at the top of the table, top 3 sides separated by 2. Top of the URC, top 3 sides separated by 4. Like, it's literally apples and oranges. You got to go with, like, there's no real comparison between the 2 comps. We cover both of them on the channel, but we've watched enough of it to know they're very different competitions. If you just sit there and agree, Hamish, you seem like perfect marriage material, says Jason. And a tight game as we'd expect, says Moa Hunter's exactly right. These 2 sides, they've had some great battles throughout recent years. This Waratahs side, they would love nothing more than to be the party crashers of the first ever game at the stadium. Be able to get themselves the big upset win. And it would certainly turn the Super Round on its head too at the very start. So 4 more games to come. And it will be the scrum feed for the Crusaders. They are sitting about 10 metres out from the try line. Noah Hotham will be putting this ball in. And feeds it in. And it's a solid scrum again from the Crusaders. They've got themselves another scrum penalty advantage. And they win themselves the penalty. And a double blow of the whistle here too from Nick Berry. As there was a little bit of push and shove. Pete Samu was running away with the ball. Oh, okay, they got marched back about 20 metres there. The Waratahs as well from that penalty. I guess, buddy, you'll see when New Zealand come here to South Africa. Yeah, but that wasn't really the point you were making. I know you said that South Africa are going to beat New Zealand, which at the moment I wouldn't disagree because, you know, you look at what's happening with the All Blacks. They haven't even played a game under their new coach. So if they weren't to lose in South Africa, I think that would be quite a concerning thing. So, like, I don't get what your point is. We have got there that say to scrum well, says Nada Boy. Super 12 game vibes maybe. Says here, a big nice rolling maul there from the Crusaders, but it's popped out the back. The Tars jump on it, but another penalty goes the way of the Crusaders. Quick tap taken by Noah Hotham. He's hit high by Amata Cero. And now everybody's pushing each other. We're about to have a fist fight at the first game in the new stadium. We have got there Higgins going to play for Scotland, says Mobeen Supreme. And the Biff's on, says Nada Boy. Yeah, both of these sides, there's a dog pile at the moment with about 10 players all trying to separate it. And also, hi Hamish, great looking new stadium. Really happy that the Crusaders scored the first try at their home. And what if New Zealand beats South Africa at Loftus? Can we handle such a shock? Says Xander. Yeah, it would be quite something, wouldn't it? But Amata Cero, I think, was right in the middle of all of that. Ben O'Keefe has made his way onto the field from the touchline and is just trying to settle everyone down. My point in Super 12 was a lot better. So with the Rebels, because they were in it like last year and that was with 12, wasn't it? Or you're saying the first initial Super Rugby. Are you saying as well, I will ask the question, which competition do you prefer the South African sides to be in? When they were in Super Rugby or while they're playing in the URC, which is a close, thriving competition, as you say? Okay, first penalty seems like it's going against the Amata Cero here. Arrogant little scrummies of both sides. The cause of this handbags, says Ben. Everyone will be in bed during the Springboks and All Blacks test in South Africa, says Clifford. Not quite everyone. I will be awake covering those ones. I'm probably going back to 0301H. You'll win 1 out of 4. I think some people would take that. Okay, they're saying about the quick tap deliberately being stopped by a Matasero, who has been involved in quite a bit of the scuffle throughout this contest as well. Oh, okay, a Matasero is actually getting a yellow card here. Nick Berry is sick of him, so he has sent him from the field. And he has decided that he has seen enough of a Matasero for now. The crowd, they are booing him as he makes his way off the field. And we have got the yellow card and go the Crusaders, says Ilaria. Do you think the Cheetahs deserve to play in bigger competitions, or are they just not good enough at the moment, says Xander? It's a tricky one for the Cheetahs because, you know, they do well in the Curry Cup. And then you chuck them in the Challenge Cup or the Champions. Oh, I think it was the Challenge Cup this year. And I believe they lost every single one of their games. So it's a tricky one in terms of the argument of them going up to the next level. But I do think that they've got the players that, if given the chance, they probably start to get better and better. But it's just getting that chance. I missed that. But already Nick is on thin ice. Says the underdog pick. And URC is better for us because of the time. I agree. I think that it works out nicely. Champions Cup is another option at some stage that I think the South African sides will look to try and put the trophy in the cabinet. At the moment, the Sharks, the only side with European Champions or Challenge Cup trophy wear. That was from the Challenge Cup last year or year before, I think it was. They were able to win that one. Now going off to the right-hand side, Antonio Chalfoun, about 10 metres from the line, the Crusaders. Now looking to get this attack going again. There was a bit of a stoppage while the players were having a bit of biff. It seems like it's back underway now. Crusaders looking to get try number 2. Now off to the left, Noah Hotham going to David Havili. Tries to bounce past there and it doesn't work out. Jorgensen was on it. Would have had a full field try had it not been for that advantage. I think it will be a close game. New Zealand got the edge, says Paul Floors there. Right, this is probably going to be another warning here for the Waratahs. Oh, okay, someone's swearing about something, but the last 4 penalties going against the Waratahs in this case, and the Crusaders have opted for the scrum. It means that they haven't got one of their locks out there on the field. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and push the like button. Says David the Mod. Okay, offside 6 and 10 in this case. Angus Scott Young as well as Jack Debrezini. Morning, Al Yamish. Are you doing the Sharks game? I am not, but Haino will be for us on the channel. I was in news yesterday in South Africa. The Cheetahs are going to join the URC in the place of Wales side that is going out. Oh, well, that probably works quite nicely. Do they have to be based out of Europe, though? Like they are in the Challenge Cup, or are they allowed to play in South Africa? Big signing, though, for the Cheetahs recently. Faf de Klerk signing on the dotted line. 8 minutes remaining in the first half, and about 8 minutes remaining of that Waratahs yellow card too. Otham puts the ball in. Oh, front rows have collapsed. Nick Berry was about to blow his whistle, but the Crusaders decide they want to play in straight through the gap. It's Dallas McLeod. He's the only man scoring in this contest at the moment. And the crowd celebrating big time for it. But McLeod, a man who made his way off of the bench, or initially was going to make his way off the bench, into the starting lineup due to Severis being sick. And he's been having quite the day at the office. Just cars through the defence. They're asking the question of whether or not David Havili has taken out Debrezini. Probably has the argument here, so this one might be cancelled out. South African team will win a Champions Cup before a Welsh one, says Fleshin. Although Challenge Cup, the Dragons, they're going all right, winning up against everyone away from home. Right, this one's going to be checked here, ladies and gents. Is there obstruction from David Havili's running line? He does get in the way of Jack Debrezini, and that does theoretically open up that gap, although because he's in front, this is probably going to be no try for Dallas McLeod. Right, 12's clearly in front, so potential obstruction is going to be ruled as such. And it is going to be, I believe it's a penalty to the Waratahs. I don't think they had any advantage there, the Crusaders. Put Sever Reece in my fantasy team an hour before deadline. Ooh. Do you get like some sort of consolation points for him not playing? Or do you just get told, nah, you've got 0? Because, yeah, he was a relatively late change. How do you see Lions versus Connacht going? It will be a close one for me. Yeah, Connacht played really well up against the Stormers. The Lions played brilliantly up against Glasgow. So I think the Lions should take it, but Connacht won't be as far behind, I don't believe, as the Glasgow Warriors were, because they just didn't seem to have their head in that game. But I do also think that Glasgow and Stormers will be closer this weekend now too. Because both sides have had that loss, they both want that redemption. But Fainga'anuku ready to throw this one in. Nicely taken. The back of the line-out by Kai Lear. What is Fainga'anuku doing playing 7? Surely harms his chances being starting 13. Is he trying to be a squad member, says Travelling Jack? Well, he has played 7 before. Just not for the Crusaders. He did play there for Toulon. Quite a few games of the top 14, in fact. So I think it's just down to the fact that they're lacking players in that loose forward trio. They've decided to try something different. Now, the thing is, if he goes well as a 7, then maybe he gets selected as a guy in the hybrid department. Or, yeah, it will be interesting to see what it does to his selection chances. I think he'll get in either way. So he should be fine. So they did get a try. No. Got disallowed due to obstruction from David Havili. So it is the penalty instead to the Waratahs, which they are now using. Sitting around the halfway line, Gordon goes back across to the right and a cross kick attempted here. Massive open space here in the background. Nice pass from Callaway. Goes to Jorgensen. Trying to sneak through Braden Ennor. Almost wrestled into touch, but now the pace of Joey Walton. Oh, he slipped over and fallen on his face just short of the try line. But Gordon goes across to Gamble. And a brilliant chance here for the Waratahs to be able to score their first try in the new stadium. Cross kick straight into the hands of Sid Harvey. And he puts the ball down. The Waratahs take the lead back. Do you guys take 80 players to South Africa? No. It's 80 players and staff. So it's probably going to be a squad of about 45 to 48 players. But people are running with the narrative that they're going to take an 80-man squad, but it's like including the staff, medics and whatnot as well. And WRU have put back the decision on Otakala until 2028, so the Cheetahs have at least another 2 years to wait. Says Fleshin. It's a beautiful cross kick from Jack Dibrancini straight into the hands of Sid Harvey. 2 cross kicks in the build-up of that try as well, I will mention. And there we go, Tars. There's a willow there too. But it earned a clap from the Waratahs coach. He's happy with what his side are doing here. And we have got there the Waratahs. Now Sid Harvey, he's sitting 2 from 2 today. He's sitting 3 from 3 today. That is brilliant striking of the ball from the youngster who also scored the try, so was able to convert his own work. And the score now sitting 13-7 in favour of the Waratahs. Tars took the opportunity, unlucky Crusaders. Says Sethimus there. And the kick says David. If Connacht can get 2 bonus points and leave South Africa with 7, it would be unreal. Not many teams could do that. Even them leaving with 5 is considered pretty incredible, to be fair. But yeah, any bonus points they get from that game up against the Lions would be a huge plus. Now, kicked in behind. Do you think the Bulls will win New Zealand? Depends on who they select. Because you got to remember, most of the Bulls players, although Rassi might let them play for their provinces. So you could see the likes of a Cameron Honeycomb, Pepsi, I was going to say Pepsi Buthelezi, but of course he's a Sharks man. But Kutli Aronsa is who I was trying to think of. Honre Pollard. You might see them playing for the Bulls, but there might also be a chance that they play in the game up against the Barbarians. Oh, no, they've got Argentina, don't they? So they may play them in that game instead. So, yeah, it'll be a bit intriguing to see who's actually playing for those provincial teams, but you'd like to think they'd have some of their internationals, similar to what you see for the British and Irish Lions games. Lessa running around like a headless. He needs to choose his moments. Just showing the stadium from a distance. It looks quite nice, to be fair. I haven't heard many people say that it doesn't look like a nice stadium. So that's a plus. There was a bit of controversy throughout the last couple of weeks in regards of horses and whatnot. Matt Phillip now. Looks like a change is about to be made here. That is, by the looks of it, Amoni going off the field for the Tahs. That is going to be for Daniel Bota. Makes his way on. Nobody saw Waratahs being ahead at halftime. Says Xander. Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because they scored that try with 14 men as well. This Crusaders side, they really need to find their momentum. Substitute ball is on fire. Says Willow. Now Jake Gordon. Oh, it's a big scrum from the Crusaders, but the ball pops out the back for Samu. Hamish, do you think Rennie has what it takes? It's very hard to tell because, you know, he does all right in Japan. Internationally for the Australians, you know, he didn't have the best record, but at the same time, he didn't have the best team to work with. So there's a bit of pressure on him, but it'll be intriguing. And at the end of the day, it's probably too late to try another guy before that World Cup. Chip in mind from Braden Enoch gets a bounce of the ball 35 metres out from Lynson Harvey trying to get the steal. Noah Hotham under a lot of pressure here from, I believe it was Walton as well as Samu. Back across to the left-hand side. And people saying Tahs for Warriors as well. Says Clifford. Oh, ball stolen there by the Waratahs. Like a ball security nut. Referee goes back and says that was because of your player swatting it away. We have their Union is trash. NRL doing full Anzac ceremony every game this weekend. All you Union supporters get as a haka. I think that's because the main day that they do it for the Super Rugby side of things is normally tomorrow. Both the Brumbies and the Hurricanes have got commemorative kits as well in regards to Anzac Day. But because most of the NRL games, correct me if I'm wrong, those NRL games aren't taking place at new stadiums that have just taken a few years to build. So I believe that's probably why they're having this first game as the stadium one and then the rest as Anzac matches, because it's over the Anzac weekend. And honestly, this team is 25% without Jordan, says Shane. Now, ready to throw this one in. Nicely done by Cody Taylor. It wasn't very straight, but they do let it slide as the Waratahs didn't compete in the air. Now moving forward slowly but surely here for the Crusaders rolling maul. It looks like it's going to be moving very nicely towards the try line. Only about a metre out, Taylor's over. And the Crusaders scored just before the halftime break. And that will now give them the potential chance of leading here if the conversion goes over. But it's the veteran Cody Taylor back in the side after the injuries. He's had a couple of them throughout this season, but he's also had a few tries, 6 tries in total. I back the Waratahs at 6.6 to 1. They can make me liquid, says David. And try as well, says Josie. And also I voted that the Crusaders should surely win this, even though they are behind on the scoreboard. Says NZ Riot. Taylor just waiting patiently at the back of that maul, which was moving very nicely. I just voted that the Crusaders should surely win this. Well, that's the thing. Heading into the second half, that last-minute try, I feel like that's probably going to change the way they play, and it's a kick over. No one's missing in the new stadium. I don't think we've had a missed kick as of yet at this location, but it is halftime now in this contest. The Crusaders take the lead. Heading into the second half, 14 points to 13. There's a pressure conversion, and he's absolutely nailed it for Taha Kimura. The sardines better in spring roll, olive oil, or tomato sauce? No idea. I've never had a sardine. I've played sardines. You know that game, how it's like reverse hide and seek back when I was younger. I know, yes, there's NZ Riot. Yeah, very close game for the opening match at the new stadium. Still plenty more games taking place of this Super Round as well. Certainly something to look forward to. But currently the way that this game sits, if the points were going to be awarded, if this was full-time, for instance, and the Crusaders won by 1, would mean that they move themselves up into 5th place. The Waratahs would get a bonus point. They'd move up to 20, but still plenty of time remaining for that to change, with bonus points still as a chance throughout the second half, as well as that potential opportunity of maybe even the bonus point for 3 or more It could happen. At the end of the day, these two sides do have the try-scoring ability. How do you think how New Zealand play against Springboks in running game? I think they'll do a bit of running, yeah. But tactically, we have no idea what Rennie's thinking because he hasn't had a game yet. But he might try a bit of a running game. He might go for a kicking-orientated game. He might go for an offloading one. It could be anything. But I think the best thing about it currently is no one knows. So that makes it much harder to work out what they're going to do at the time. And we have got there, Oil Keep It Smooth. Says Willow there, a massive try and conversion. No conditions must help. Says Haino. Switched the NRL to watch the last 22 minutes of the first half. Says Clifford. A low quality half, says Dunk. I didn't mind it. I feel like there were always going to be quite a few nerves for these two sides. We've got to remember 35,000 is the attendance that can be piled into the stadium. So probably an atmosphere that these two sides haven't really played in. The pressure of being the first game at a new stadium is going to do wonders to the handling errors and whatnot of this game. Plus both sides may be a little bit ill-disciplined as a whole, but I think this game's still got a lot of potential. It's close enough that either side can still win it, so that's much better in my opinion than a side sitting 28-0 up heading into the second half. We have there Bulla from Vitasilla, welcome in. If you are doing well, Bulla Vanaka says the real Ando there too. Rennie has to earn the respect of the senior ABs first, says David. Yeah, because we all know what happens if you don't earn the respect of those guys. Just ask Razor. We have there great running rugby, says Samuel. And Bulla says Moa. Yeah, second half of this one, not a mile away. Just to let you guys know, there are still 4 more games of the Super Round. It's Hurricanes versus Brumbies, the first match tomorrow. That is at 5:05 p.m. New Zealand time. Following that one is the Blues versus the Reds. That is considered as the closest game of the weekend, although I have a little feeling like that Hurricanes-Brumbies match could certainly bring that kind of 50-50 type of matchup there as well. Highlanders play Moana and Chiefs play the Fijian Roar. Whether or not this is Moana Pacific's last Super Round, we will know a little bit later on. There are rumours that maybe someone is going to keep them running, but I have to wait and see whether or not that becomes a reality for that Moana side. We have, I think Joseph will be better than Rennie, says Josie. Yeah, although I think Jamie Joseph's, he's a little bit in the same boat as Rennie, other than the fact that he did have some success with the Japanese way back in the day, which, like, in rugby terms, more than 3 or 4 years ago feels like ages. And normally, like, the game changes and evolves so much that just because you were successful, let's say, 5 years ago or 10 years ago, doesn't necessarily mean you will be now. But Joseph seemed to be doing some good things with the Highlanders at the start of the season. He's done all right with, like, the invitational teams as well. So, yeah, it just seemed to be that those two wanted the main job rather than working together. And my stats say Rennie is far superior to Jamie, says Sophia. And also Brother Davey. We'll have the dressing room. Make no mistake, says Shane there. And great commentary, great game, says Willow Dance. Yeah, it's been solid. We've seen some decent running from these two sides. There's a bloke in a Crusaders hoodie who's about to do, I think he's doing like a, is he doing some dancing? Or he might be doing some dancing. He might be doing some singing. I'm not actually too sure who it is. It's Scribe. Who's Scribe? What song is Scribe sung, ladies and gents? Or is he a rapper? Or is he a dancer? He doesn't have a microphone from what I can see. Maybe he is a dancer. I should know who Scribe is, shouldn't I? But unfortunately, I'm not too sure. We've got the fire siren going off, though, at the moment. Araza was given an unfair shot, says Magga there. I prefer Jamie over Rennie, says Haino. And why go check the accolades, says Sophia. And also we have got there to Tim Horan, never tackle with such narrow sloping shoulders. And also Scribe, geez, that's a blast from the past. You're too young, Hamish. And who is Scribe, says Haino. I'm going to have to Google who Scribe is. He's at least got a microphone now. Scribe, New Zealand rapper. Am I going to know any of his songs? I'm not too sure. Was a pretty good New Zealand rapper, says NZ Riot. Unfair or not, he had a shot, says our underdog, and go line up achievements by Dave and Jamie. It's quite clear why they picked Dave. And one huge single. What was the single? Samuel, do let me know. But while we are at it, we might as well show you what is to come for these two sides. There are not many games remaining for this Crusader side, which is why they need the victory here just to help secure themselves a spot inside of the top 6. The next game is up against the Hurricanes. Then from there they play the Blues, then they play the Chiefs, and then they play the Canes again. It is not an easy run for this Crusaders team, which once again means this game is absolutely crucial. Because if they don't win this, the chance of making that top 6 slowly slips out of the fingertips of the defending champs. For the Waratahs, they have got 5 games remaining. Only one of those is up against the New Zealand opposition, but they've got the Force twice, they've got the Brumbies, and they've got the Fijian Drua in Fiji. And Fijian Drua recently finding some decent form up against the Brumbies too, so maybe that will continue into their home games in the near future as well. We have got there, I heard Razor had mental issues. What kind of mental issues? And how many dudes, flow like this? I'm listening to the song. I don't think I've ever heard it. It's the year 2000 all over again, says David. And also we have got there not many, says Samuel. And Hamish, weren't you a rapper back in your school days? Yeah, but that was back when I was like 10. Also, not really a full-on like rapper. It was just we had to write a New Zealand national anthem and we wrote a rap about Antarctica. Well, no, that's wrong. We had to write a national anthem for Antarctica based on the New Zealand national anthem tune. We misunderstood and wrote a rap about Antarctica, but it was good enough that they gave us an excellence for it. So that's ideal. The cricket tournament's over. Which cricket tournament we talking? And yet another... put the C to the rap, says Dunk. And it's bad, the song, says Josie. Tell you what, the crowd are loving it though, so they must be much more cultured than myself when it comes to the New Zealand rap scene of the 2000s. Because your parents listen to Scribe, says Samuel. There were remixes. Your under-9 tournament. Oh, the like regular cricket competition, that ended a few weeks ago for the junior cricket. Most kick meters, Jake Gordon has had 101. He's also had the most kicks out of anyone. Scribe doesn't sing as well as Haino though, says Jason. Well, Haino is going to be hosting that Sharks versus Edinburgh game later on. Surely we're going to try from Noah Hotham, says Pro Pleb. Scribe looks old, middle-aged, says David. That's probably because he is, more than likely, if he was a rapper in the 2000s. How old is he? He's 46. So he looks middle-aged because he is. He's 46 years of age. We have got their best part of the game as Scribe, a.k.a. King of the South, says LB. And hear me out, this one going out to all my fans. Starts rapping, says Xander. And up the Wars, says Mondo. When do the Wars play this weekend? I haven't been keeping track. Well, I know that they had a very good win over the Melbourne Storm. I think that was 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? And then they narrowly got past the Titans last week. The Wars are playing at 8:05 p.m. tomorrow night up against the Dolphins. You can't deny his album Crusader, says Sophia. That took me way back. I rapped every word, says LB. Are you going to give me the bad news that Noah Hotham has been subbed off or something? He is not. He's still out there for now. They have got the replacement for him in the second half of Kyle Preston. Wars play tomorrow. I am security there, says Pro Pleb. Tell you what, I didn't know who Scribe was. The crowd did, though. They were absolutely loving it. A little halftime show. And I assume that they'd have someone lined up for the halftimes tomorrow as well, maybe. But this game is extremely close between these two sides, sitting there 14 points to 13. Neither of these sides still have a great chance being able to get themselves the victory. Kiss Cam, says Jasmine. I didn't realise they were still allowed to do that sort of thing without getting themselves in trouble. Looking through at the next round, ladies and gentlemen. Hurricanes versus Crusaders will be the opening game. That is on the 1st of May here in New Zealand. The Hurricanes, they will be the host side for that contest, followed by the Waratahs taking on the Western Force. Fiji and Draw versus the Highlanders. That is the 4:35 p.m. game. And then also Moana Pacifica versus Blues and Reds versus Brumbies. Now, Reds versus Brumbies, if they were both going to lose their game coming up in the Super Round, that could also be a very crucial game as to who can potentially have that home field advantage heading into the playoff games. Of course, the top 3 sides, they will get home playoff, and the highest qualifier who loses, they are considered the lucky loser, and they get themselves a lifeline. A little bit similar to what we saw from the Chiefs last year, but that does mean that they can also lose their home field advantage for the final. Okay, Scribe, get back on your time machine. Have a safe trip back to the early 2000s. You related to someone called P Money H? Not that I know of. I think I've heard of P Money, but I don't think I know any of the songs that he sings or raps. Scribe is the GOAT. They all agree, even the others say it. Says Sophia. And we have got there, Love My late Mama Queen Joanne. And also we have got there, Vanilla Ice is the best rapper ever. Says Mondo. Ironically, when I mentioned about that Antarctica rap, there was a little bit about Ice Ice Baby because of the fact that it's Antarctica and it's cold. So, good timing there. And also, I don't really like the look of the stadium. So many years and so much money, that's the best they could do, says LB. So what don't you like about the look of the stadium? Because a lot of people have said that they think it looks quite nice, but like, what is is it the shape? Or is it the parts that hold it up that you don't like? Or what's the go? Like, not enough decorative colours on the outside? I heard you were the best rapper, Hamish. Well, I'm rapping Christmas presents, but close enough. Definitely not rapping Christmas presents. I'm shocking at that. I've started getting strategic and buying bags. You know the ones with like the balloons and stuff on the side. Stick a present in there. Give it to them. Much easier than the stress of rapping. New Zealand Rugby just re-signed Narawa. Big risk for a guy that's pretty injury prone. Yeah, but he's a good talent, isn't he? So I feel like it makes sense. And we have got their second half is about to start, says Jasmine. And also how many number ones you sold, says Sophia. And we have got their chair, Hamish, says Shane. And also we have got the moment of the game was the fight. That was epic, says Islanders fan. Yeah, the first scuffle at the new stadium, and it only took about 30 minutes. 2 live crew and New Zealanders with attitude. Me love you long time, says Random Buttworthy. I think the stadium is something we can be proud of, especially on the international level. Yeah, like, that's the thing. It's going to be very interesting to see how that game goes between, I believe it's New Zealand-France for that contest, isn't it? And then New Zealand-Islands at Eden Park. That'll be a good one too. And the Italians in between. And we get their Scribes on the beanie. I'd assume they would have paid him well for this gig, though, which is good news. But yeah, I'll have to listen to one of his songs after this, see if I recognise absolutely any of it, because at first hearing it, I didn't know it. So I feel like I've missed out on the 2000 rap scene. There's barely any Māori near the top New Zealand rap, says Sophia. And also we have got their Crusaders are hurting without Will Jordan. And who's that supposed to be? I know they're missing Blackadder too. They're missing Jamie Hanna, Sever Reese. Their stadium looks like Forsyth Park Stadium clone. Little bit. I feel like as soon as you put a roof on a stadium with the roughly same design, it's always going to look similar. Now, there are its differences. And Nuku at 7. And are you going to follow any of the World Cup soccer? Maybe. I think we might do New Zealand's games, maybe. Possibly. Exactly, the stadium looks like scaffolding on the inside and the exterior is boring. Look at how nice the Cape Town Stadium looks and was recently built. The Cape Town Stadium without the roof, right? Because I feel like that's a very, like, if you have a roof, you kind of need something to hold it up. Or at least in my opinion, that's a good idea. So Cape Town Stadium, I agree. Bloody nice stadium. You got Tabletop Mountain in the background. But there's no roof. Oh, Amatacero failed his HIA So he's not going to make his way back out onto the field. In this case, this one's going to be kicked up high. Slapped back by the Crusaders around the halfway line. I'm watching on TV too. C.S. Graham's a little bit of multitasking from yourself. We're currently 40 seconds into the second half now. That one's going to be kicked too hard from the Crusaders. Goes into the in-goal area and it rolls dead. It's going to make it a penalty now. Well, sorry, not a penalty, but going right back to where it was kicked from. Now we have they taken Scribe back to his retirement home in time. He's only 46. If 46 is retirement age, that man's made a lot of money in his early years. But the Crusaders, I don't think they've made too many changes of their own here. The only thing that has changed is the fact that Taylor Cahill no longer has headgear on. And Scott Young's dad must have got him at halftime. 1 point lead at the moment for the Crusaders with 39 minutes left on the clock. Jake Gordon going to feed this ball in. They are inside of Crusaders territory due to that kick going dead. The stadium has a modern look. The architecture is amazing. So here's David the Mod. Going off to the left-hand side. Gordon with the inside ball. Oh, that one was almost ripped out of the hands of Callaway. In fact, it was. It's going to be the scrum feed now for the Crusaders. Exactly what they need at the start of the second half. Just a bit of momentum. The stadium has heaps of toilets. Well, that's quite good. Have you been to one of them, Jasmine? And are they quite nice, quite modern looking, maybe? I've only been to one stadium and I didn't go in the toilets. So I don't really know how good they're supposed to be. If they can include a retractable roof for Cape Town Stadium, that would be awesome. I've been there once with the Sevens and the wind makes watching unpleasant. So with a roof would be great, says Haino. That'd be a big roof too, because those stands go quite far back, don't they? It's almost open like a bowl type of setup. Clean toilets, says Mondo. Okay, well that's a great start then. Noah Hotham. Food prices. Have you got any food yet, Mondo? What's a hot dog and chips going for at the moment at the stadium? I just don't understand the patterns on the seats, says Haino. Scrum reset here for these two sides. Nick Berry just towing the line, marking it. Wanting both front rows to stay up and hold the weight. This is a weird stat to put on the screen for Charlie Gamble. 6 tackles made, tackle success 60%. They're putting that up on screen, and I think they're trying to say it like it's like a positive. They are just mentioning that he is Canterbury born, so maybe that was the reasoning behind it. But missing 40% of your tackles isn't ideal for Charlie Gamble. You'll want to get a couple more of those numbers up by the end of this game. Yeah, about 3 times, says Jasmine. Now Noah Hotham. It's the ball in again. Lester Fainga'anuku packing down at the back of the Crusaders scrum this time rather than as the 7. Hot dogs and chips go for your mortgage and the tax on your inheritance, says LB. Yeah, I think at Orange Theory Stadium, hot dog and chips was about $11 or something around there. So I'd assume it would be somewhere about there, maybe at the new one as well. Now going off to the right-hand side, kicking it downfield. An awkward bouncing one, nicely taken by Sid Harvey inside of the 22. Max Jorgensen from inside of his 22 tries to find touch and doesn't quite do so. Taha Kimura with some good hands near the sideline, kicking it downfield. This one's probably going to go dead as well from Taha Kimura. No, just taking it inside of the in-goal area for Joey Walton. And there should be some aftershave dispensers win-win, says Shane. It looks like goal line dropout now for this Waratahs side. They are down by 1 point, which really in the whole scheme of this match is not a lot. We've seen them get every kick over in this contest, same with the Crusaders. So any opportunity for 3 more than likely will result in points here. Their halfback slipped. I'm wondering if it was due to the turf being uneven. I'm not sure if it's too uneven. I think it's just a little bit greasy. But it's probably one of those ones that they'll slowly learn from more and more games how wet to have the turf. I know that at Orange Theory Stadium, the dew factor was a thing, but then, of course, with this one being inside, I don't think they have to wait or deal with that as much, but they've probably, they would have sprayed a bit of water on it, make it slippery so that players don't dig in too hard. That's another penalty, this time awarded to the Crusaders. They decide against the quick tap here, and now there's a decision to be made. Do you go for 3? Straight out in front of the post, about 35 metres out, I'd say. In fact, a little bit close, about 30 metres out, and it seems like the Crusaders have decided the corner is their best friend in this case. Deep breaths being taken by David Harvili. Hotham, I got to start asking more questions. So here's Dunk. And also, he needs to be back where he's explosive. And I would agree. Now ready to throw this one in. It is Cody Taylor from 10 out. He has already scored 1 try in this match. And that one's nicely into Antonio Shalfoon. Almost looked like he grimaced as he was landing there, Shalfoon. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Does seem like he's going to be all right, though. 5 metres out from the line. Hotham going out to Fletcher Null. 3 metres short. Cody Taylor gets that little bit closer. Now off to the left. Christian Leo Willie. 2 metres from the line now for the Crusaders. Big clean out from Leicester. Fainga'anuku in the breakdown. Now Fletcher Null. 1 metre short again. Dom Gardner's going to go himself. He's going to be held up, though. There is the advantage in play for the Crusaders, so they'll go back for the penalty. 5 metres out. Sir John Key is there. Says David the Mod there. And take the points. 9 penalties against the Waratahs. Now that number's starting to get quite high this time against Samu. For the offside. Looks like he's also maybe nursing a bit of a knee injury here, but Taha Kimura again will kick this one into touch. Seems like the tactic from the Crusaders at the start of the second half is go aggressive. They may be rewarded with a yellow card against the Tars here if too many more penalties do go the same way. First to score will win, says the real Ando. We'll go like this. And like that. Ioane Moananu making his way onto the field. This is up against his old side. A side that he was struggling to get minutes as soon as George Bell and Cody Taylor were both back from injuries. But he has been quite a standout and definitely a prospect. Are you live for the URC tomorrow? So for the morning game, Sharks versus Edinburgh, Haino will be. But then the other games, I'm going to be here for those streams. Rolling Maul now. Noah Hotham going away to the left-hand side. Now big carry forward from David Harvili. Looks like Lawson Crichton might have taken a bit of a knock on the side of the head. Now Dallas McLeod moving forward that little bit further. Taha Kimura off to Antonio Shalfoon. About 7 metres out from the try line. For the steel weather Tars, but not quite able to get a Fletcher Null. Still charging forward here. About 5 metres out from the try line now. It's the Fainga'anuku. About 4 metres out. Still slowly and methodically building here. The Crusaders looking for try number 3 in this contest. Ball comes out the side. Almost looked like a knock on there from Noah Hotham. But it's still there. Now Bruce, he plays half-back. 1 metre short. Fletcher, no. Can he get over? No, but there is another penalty advantage. The Crusaders don't have a half-back. At the moment, it looks like Ioane Moananu does play the ball. And there's going to be a yellow card here for the Waratahs. Who's it going to be for? It's Ioane Moananu. Ladies and gentlemen, he has been sent off for the 10 minutes for playing the ball in the breakdown after the penalty advantage was already awarded. How's Leicester with that 7? He hasn't done that much as a 7. In fact, his biggest moment so far has been when he was on the outside shoulder of David Harvili, more so playing as a centre. But, like, he's been around. He just hasn't had any really big moments like a 7 would, if that makes sense. He gave away an early penalty going for the jackal, and maybe that made him a bit, like, worried to go in too crazily. But, like, he's filled the gap that they needed filled, I would say. Now Cody Taylor running off the back here. 5 metres from the line. Now Christian Leo Willie, this feels like it's only a matter of time until they find their way over the try line here, the Crusaders. Here's Leicester Fainga'anuku. He's got the try now that we've mentioned him. And he will go over for the Crusaders' third try of the contest. The crowd celebrating that one big time. We have got there, he came on and off with the yellow card. And also we have got there, try, says David the Mod. And also we have got there, about going, says the underdog, but going off to the side, Leicester Fainga'anuku, first half finished in the NRL. Breaks off the back and goes through that defence of Philip Samu. And also Angus Scott Young, or that actually looked a bit like Angus Blythe, to be fair, so he might have made his way off of the bench. Taha Kimura lines up the shot, gets it over. And now the Crusaders lead this game by the 8 points, 21 points to 13. And we have got the, are you going to stream the 11:45 p.m. game tomorrow? That's the URC, right? The Lions, no, sorry, Stormers versus Glasgow. We will be streaming that one, yes. What percentage of seats look actually sat? No, I assume that is from NZ, right? Well, it was a sellout. So, from what I've seen, I haven't seen a huge amount of empty seats, but I'd assume people are going in and out of the, like, going to get food and whatnot. But, like, that wide angle here behind the kicking, it looks like a majority of them are full. There's not, there's a couple empty, but I think that's probably down to people popping off to the toilets to use the toilets. That came out as if they were doing something else, but and food, not in the toilets, but in the back where they have food. What do you think about me potentially covering Ulster versus Munster? I mean, if you're keen, I hadn't actually had anything organised for that game, so if you want to, you're more than welcome to. Could we see Tavatavanawa in at 7? I think for now they'll probably stick him in the midfield. That camera on the ceiling is amazing, says David the Mod. Please commentate the Warriors game tomorrow night. That's happening at the same time as Blues versus Reds, though. So, like, we can give you updates, but we probably can't do the actual commentary for the whole game. Okay, 4-man line out here for the Waratahs. Still another 7 minutes remaining of the yellow card. They've gone to the front to Pete Samu, and it's called as not straight. Wasn't down the middle. Do you think Angus Scott Young's mother was an AC/DC fan? Is that because one of the guys in the AC/DC band, was their name Angus Young or something? Or Angus, was it Angus Scott? I think there was one called Angus, wasn't there? Going off to the right-hand side. Cody Taylor. Oh, that was obstruction accidentally from Fletcher and all. Just both men running into the same place, same time. The referee does say play on. 40 metres out from the line. Samu coming through the middle. Almost cleaned up Hotham, now going away once more to the left. Thought about the ball out wide, but David Havili pops it up to Dom Gardner. It's well defended by Walton and Gamble. Now grubbering this one in behind. It's almost gone over the head of Jorgensen, but he does backtrack nicely. Passes it across to Sid Harvey inside of the 22. Looks like the youngster's going to have a run with it. He's been smashed in the tackle by Braden Enor. Crusaders also looking to try and get that steal. Bon Scott, says Hammock there. And also spicy game, says Jasmine. Have you seen the hot dogs, Jasmine? Are they expensive for a hot dog and chips there? Now, Jake Gordon kicks this one up high as well. Oh, that's a hard collision in the air, and I think Sid Harvey got the worst of it, but he was the one who did get to the ball after. David Havili going for the risky offload, sits up a Hotham. Now Brewis, he almost goes through. He's actually got quite a bit of pace off the mark, but a brilliant steal in the breakdown from Joey Walton. I think someone covering, or do you think someone's, do you think some covering the Black Ferns games, says Fortnite NBA? I know that I don't think I am, because they haven't covered any of the other games of the competition. But also Black Ferns expected to win that game quite comfortably. Now going back across to the left-hand side. Thanks for the clearing the whole toilet food, deviating things. Lav Amish, great coverage. Says Lawrence, that's a huge shot there too. Seems like it's getting more physical out there as this match progresses. We're already up to 54 minutes, but the penalty advantage in favour of the Waratahs. They still play with 14 men. That is how they scored their last try with a man disadvantage, but they'll go back now for the penalty. Angus Young and Bon Scott says random in there. And Angus Young, he wore the ridiculous schoolboy uniform, says Matthew. I'll let you know during the games tomorrow. Depends on when the braai finishes. Angus all day, you Kiwi Scott, says Dunk. Angus all day. Is that like to do with AC/DC as well, I guess? We have got also AC/DC in Auckland many years ago, says David. They're just showing that big shot from Braden Enor. He's been physical throughout this matchup. Halaholo, he's made his way onto the field for Scott Young. And also Jamie Adams. Oh, Jamie Adamson's made his way on, and he's thrown the line out. It looked like it was knocked on, but it is going to be play on now. Lester Fainga'anuku kicking it from inside of his own 22. Now Jorgensen. Can he get a decent run going? I think that he hasn't really had much of a chance with ball in hand from 15 in this contest. And maybe that's because they've been having him hang back a bit just in case there is that counter-attack for the Crusaders or they're kicking behind. Now Walton goes on the outside. Here's Max Jaw. No, he's just dropped the ball. I jinxed him there too. I look like a forward pass, says Clifford. And I saw AC/DC in Staffordshire in 1979. That's a wee while ago, isn't it? That's a nice ball on the outside. Dallas McLeod, he cuts on the inside himself. He is having a field day up against the Waratahs. It would have been his hat trick if it wasn't disallowed for a second try, but that is now the double for Dallas. If only it was in Dunedin, that would have been the perfect alliteration, but it's in Christchurch. There's no other D that I can think of there. No. Try time, says Magga there, but it was just a backline movement. And the show and go, I think that was Dom Gardner in the end, luring in all the defenders. Then Dallas McLeod, he took the risk of running it himself rather than going to David Havili. And that is a brilliant run from Dallas McLeod there. Canes suck all day. When were the Canes mentioned? And where will the Crusaders be on the leaderboard? Well, that depends if they get a bonus point or not. Because if they get themselves the bonus point, they will be sitting right up into fourth. If they don't get themselves the bonus point, they need to win this game by 11. And that would then give them also the fourth position. They've got some pretty tough games around the corner, this Crusaders side, but the scoreline now sits 28 points to 13. And I predicted 25 points to 18 in favour of the Blues, I assume that is. Smoke Canes to the title. And Chiefs boy said, okay, so you're saying that the Chiefs are the best side, I assume. Now Lawson Crichton, George Bell, he's made his way onto the field. That is going to be for Cody Taylor. George Bell also out there. So bringing on the Georges. Jamie Hanna, not quite George, but close. He will make his way on for Taylor Cahill. Now this one's kicked down towards halfway from the Crusaders. Nicely taken by Max Jorgensen. That looked a little bit high from David Hartville. I think the TMO may want to have a little check of that one as he definitely hit him on the chest, if not higher. Now Lawson Crichton. Little chip in behind. He had to chase after that one. Wasn't quite able to get to it. Ball still on the side of the Crusaders. Cruden is again. Oh, that's a charge down. Loose bouncing ball. That one's knocked on by Dom Gardner. Stolen by Teddy Wilson with a bit of toe. It's cleaned up by Taha Kimura. And the ball is still on the side of the Crusaders. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Says Jason there. But now, Christian Leo Willie. Yeah, what, I absolutely nailed that. Anyone else have a go at that one? See if the tongue twister pulls you up. Definitely if you've been drinking, that's probably quite a mouthful. Now, that one's going to go into touch, and they are now checking upstairs for David Harville's shot. And the Blues are number one, says Mundo. A long time moose There's a Fapai in there. Welcome back. It has been last year? Year before. When was the last time you were here, Fapai? You're just checking this one. Ooh. Okay. I would say, if we're looking at this, the consistency saw a yellow card for the man who made the tackle on Caleb Tangitau in a very similar fashion last week. Blues versus Highlanders. So this might be a yellow card for David Havili, last year's final, says Fapai. So yeah, almost a full year. But it is good to have you back. Hopefully you've been keeping well, and hopefully we will see you for the final in a couple months' time. Roll on Sunday, says Jasmine. And Dallas McLeod, Connor's son. Queen Highlander soundtrack the best. But David Havili, he's going to the bin now for 10 minutes. Does have a nice moment there with the Waratahs player, giving him a handshake. So I'm sorry about trying to take your head off. It might be a red card in 10 minutes. That's crazy in real time, man says. It is. It's tough. Definitely when you're the second tackler. Like, you don't have a lot of choice in the matter. But yeah, that tackle from, I can't even remember who it was in the Blues game. Was it Zahn Sullivan who was the second one? And this is interesting. Jorgensen has to go off for an HIA here. At least from the Waratahs perspective, they have taken him off, which does mean now that Tristan Riley will make his way on. Now ready for the line out. Ioane Fainga'anuku. He's made his way back. They've lost another line out. They've actually lost 3 in the second half, 2 of which were Ioane Fainga'anuku. The other was Jamie Adamson. It was Sullivan, says the real Ando. That one's going to be kicked downfield, about 40 metres out from the line. Tristan Riley for his first touch of the day. Matthew, he's got these shocked faces in there. As well, that ball was stripped. It's gone backwards. Beautiful pass up to Tristan Riley. He's one-on-one. He's going to back his pace down the wing somehow. Manages to stay in the field. Oh, does he? The whistle's blown. There's a knock-on the ground. I was about to say, surely that's not him in touch. The sideline feels closer than FMG, says Jasmine there. Chuck Hamish, says Jason. How much is there? There's about a litre and a bit. I don't think I could do that all in one go without feeling like an idiot. And without having to take a long time to do so. Jorgensen sounds like a U-boat. Commander's name, says David the Mod. And also, we over there, no one beats the ABs but themselves. Now, final quarter of this contest, the Crusaders currently, the way that the scoreboard sits, they do have a bonus point here. That's, of course, the way that they would want to keep it. 20 minutes left. What games tomorrow, says Mohadeen? So we have got in the morning at 6:45 a.m. New Zealand time. It is going to be the Sharks match. They're going head-to-head up against Edinburgh. Haino's going to be covering that one. And then for myself, I've got the 2 games of Super Rugby, Hurricanes versus Brumbies. That's the earlier kickoff at around 5:05, followed by the game at 7:35. That will be between the Blues and the Reds. So we're going to be scheduling a lot of those ones later on tonight, though, just to keep you all updated. There's also URC throughout tomorrow night that is going to be covered on the channel too. And then Super Rugby Sunday. And how are you, bro? Says Fapai, doing good. Oh, that's another penalty going the way of the Crusaders. I can't believe it's almost been like 10 months since that last final of Super Rugby. This year is already almost over. That's how quick it's been going. Hello, Hamish, says Charles, welcome in. Now 19 minutes remaining, and that is a crucial turnover there for the Crusaders, who are looking to get themselves a solid victory here. A bonus point win would be absolutely ideal. Haino should speak his local language in your live streams. Would you accept it, mate? Says Charles. I mean, if he wants to speak, I assume his local language would be Afrikaans, maybe, but not too sure. But I think he's happy enough doing English commentary. All of the streams on his channel are in English. So I don't think he minds speaking it. Who's playing on Sunday? It will be Highlanders versus Moana. And then also Chiefs versus Fiji and Roa. Oh, ball's loose. Another knock-on. Double, in fact. Chiefs versus Roa is the game to watch. If Roa can beat the Hurricanes and win, maybe Roa. Says Hobbit. Are you doing the championship next week? Champions Cup, yep, we will be covering those games on the channel. Maybe even some Challenge Cup too. And semi-final prediction, Canes versus Brumbies, Crusaders versus Chiefs. Probably not a bad shout, although maybe the Blues would be in there somewhere too, depending on how they finish the season. But yeah, I think the likely scenario is probably 3 New Zealand sides. He lacking cat. I'm not sure what that's to do with. I am lacking cat. My cat died a few years ago. But now, 17 minutes remaining. Mr. Fainga'anuku. I may have just said he's had 16 carries in this game. It's a lot. Now, big scrum there. Are we over there? How's Mr. Fainga'anuku doing today? Or almost missed the whole game? Well, he's had 16 carries apparently. So that's a busy day at the office. He's also managed to score himself a try. I don't think he's got any turnovers in the breakdown yet. He tried for one early on. It didn't quite work out. I can say that the highlights, the newness. One time he pronounced Hurricanes as Hurricane. Says Charles, well, I can't hold that against him. I mispronounce things all the time. I've even mispronounced my own name. So, you know, things happen. Sometimes the tongue goes the wrong direction. And sometimes you say words wrong. Listening from England, what does the South African teams drop out of Super Rugby? Or is it down to COVID lockdown? A little bit. It was also, there was all the drama going on both sides' ends. Unfortunately, it got a bit ugly. But I think that that's good that they're in the URC at the moment. It's a time zone that works well for the South African sides. There's the opportunity of conquering Europe as well with the Challenge and Champions Cup. Right, no one's legally dominant, says Nick Berry. So they will have another scrum. See Khaleesi playing his 50th game for the Sharks. Yeah, off the bench for that man. Okay, yellow card for David Havili is also going to remain as a yellow card. Who will win? As in this game. I love the South African commentator who called Geordie Barrett Jody all game. Says random. Now scrum feed here. Teddy Wilson. Him and also Tristan Riley have both changed this game a little bit for the Waratahs since making their way onto the field. It seems like they've upped the tempo, added a little bit more speed into that. On a 9 channel. Good run from Samu. His best of the day. Moves the Waratahs up to the halfway line. Now moving on the outside. Jorgensen goes across the centre. Harvey wide cut out pass to Andrew Callaway, who cuts back in away from the touchline. He's tackled by the invisible Macca Springer. I don't know if we've seen Springer with the ball. He might have had it, but I can't think of a time that he has. Teddy Wilson going across to the left-hand side. Good hands from Debrazzini. Now Lawson Crichton. Way to the right, Teddy Wilson. Goes to Matt Phillip. Oh, Teddy Wilson, he milks the penalty advantage over George Bell. He's not going to need it anyway because he scored the try, Teddy Wilson. And the Waratahs are back into this game. Nicely done by Teddy Wilson. Saw the gap. As I was just saying about a minute ago, him and Tristan Riley have really upped the tempo in terms of those two men. How's Leicester doing at 7? He's had a busy enough game. He hasn't really had a busy game as a 7, if that makes sense, though. But, like, he scored himself a try. I think he would have had a solid game even if he had 13 on his back for this game as well. But he added a nice bit of physicality for the Crusaders. Teddy Wilson, though, adding a nice 7 points more than likely onto the field. So no URC next week. That is correct. Because of the Champions and Challenge Cup, they do have a week off. There's some quality calling, my man. I'm live streaming with 2 sets right now. Wait, so you're currently on his live... Wait. So you're on his live stream, I assume on the couch with him at this point in time, listening to me. Maybe. That's a confusing one, but hopefully it's all going smoothly, Tony. Hopefully you've been enjoying the game so far. Going off to the right. If you're not doing a post-match review, which you might be, but if you're not, I can flick you an invite. You can jump on for a bit of chat if you would like to. I don't know if you're still listening or whether you're going back to your streaming as well. ABs, yes, you got it. Says Distracted Sports. I think that may have come through before I asked the question. Maybe. AB's going to struggle until selection policy changes. but the executive is too hard-headed to be pragmatic. Says NZ Style. That one's going to be kicked off. Christian Leo Willie. He has made his way off of the field, and that is going to be for Johnny Lee. Now, Callaway. This game is not over, ladies and gentlemen. So another maybe 13 minutes or so. Defend Crusaders is Mr. Genius. And Ravis Rehana, he's actually making his way onto the field. So he wasn't injured at the moment. A little bit of a wrestle going on between George Bauer and I think that's Lambert. Kicked him behind. Waiting for the bounce of the ball. It is bouncing steeply, and Joey Walton not quite able to clean it up. Nice take from Kyle Preston, who's recently made his way onto the field. Dom Gardner goes back across to the right-hand side. Johnny McNichol shaped for the cross kick, but instead puts it into the midfield where Lester Fainga'anuku was waiting. Once again, still kind of playing as a 13, even though he's got the 7 on his back. Nice run from Johnny McNichol. Offloads up to Antonio Chalfoun. Crusaders have found an extra gear here as they work towards the 22 of this Waratahs side. Kyle Preston looked to the right, but decides to shape it left to Seb Calder. Now Preston again. Nareves Rehana trying to bump off Adamson. Kyle Preston underrated, says Random but worthy. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he's in the All Blacks contention this year. Seeing as he did have very limited minutes when he was in the All Blacks last time. Here comes Macca Springer. Everyone that I mentioned that I say, I don't know if we've seen much of them. They just score a try like 2 minutes later. Macca Springer. He will get himself another try for the season. But it's first of the night. They now should almost secure the Crusaders this game. They have still got the yellow card for another 30 seconds of David Havili. This one's almost opened up more since Havili's made his way from the field, and the crowd goes wild, says Jasmine. But yeah, Macca Springer. He's just waiting for his perfect moment, I guess. I'm going to have a quick look. Super Rugby, what do we got? How many carries has that man had today? Because it would very much surprise me if it's more than 4. I don't know why I said 4 rather than 5. But teams. Macca Springer. He's had, it doesn't say his carries. He's had 15 metres gained. I'd say that was probably most of those there. He's got 2 defenders beaten. 3 missed tackles of 7 attempted. And 2 passes. So relatively quiet in terms of the overall. We have got there, South Africa should just get over themselves and get back on Super Rugby. They'll make their point. Yeah, although they're doing all right in the URC, to be fair. They've been in every single final of the URC since it started up. So, there's still a lot of trophies that can be won by South African sides up north. We have got there, let's go to the Crusaders. There's Melee there. With that conversion going over, it makes the score 35 points to 20. This is still a stadium currently with 100% kicking accuracy. Now, whether or not we get through this whole game with that stat is debatable because I think there's still 1 or 2 more tries to come. But if we do, it means that Brumbies versus Hurricanes could be the first time we see a kick missed at this stadium. Talked about first try scorer being Dallas McLeod. First point scorer was Sid Harvey. Now, running this ball, the Waratahs. About 12 metres out from their own line, here comes Joey Walton. Bumps into Dallas McLeod once more. Neither team are going to be setting this comp alight, are they, says Dunk? Well, the thing is, you just have to be top 6. A little knock on there from the Waratahs on the ground from Angus Blythe. And that was the tackle made by David Havili, who's just made his way back on to the field. And Uncle doing a live stream. Says Ken Jaku there. And yo, what you doing, my G? Is it me, I assume? Currently, tell you what, she's a busy rugby weekend. Coming up, dang it, I missed it. I just finished work, says Steve. Well, luckily for you, just like I was saying, a lot of games taking place throughout this weekend. We've got the 2 games tomorrow of the Super Rugby Super Round taking place between the Hurricanes and the Brumbies, as well as the Reds versus Blues. On the Sunday, we've got Moana Pacifica versus Highlanders, Fiji and Drua taking on the Chiefs, and then also all the URC throughout the middle of the night just to keep me awake at those sleeping hours. Kyle Preston going off to the left-hand side. Chance here again for the Crusaders. Now Raves Rehana goes to David Havili. Now Kyle Preston off to Inor. Told to get out of there for the breakdown. Jamie Adamson. Oh, short ball. It was passed forward to the hands of George Bell. What car do you have, Mr. Uncle, says Kenjaku. It is a Nissan. And it goes fast. No, it goes the speed limit. CRUSADERS get 50, says Jasmine. Bus serviceable school. This is respectable school. Which school are we talking, Kyle? Bus serviceable school. This is respectable school. So the bus works. That's what you're saying there. That's good. Better than a non-working bus, of course. 8 minutes remaining on the clock now between these two sides. The CRUSADERS do currently still have the bonus point, but if there is another try from the Waratahs, that will cancel out the bonus point of the side. So we go like that. And we go like that as well. And URC Bunny, no wonder they in every final. How much are the chips at the new stadium? That is actually something I've been trying to work out. I asked about the hot dogs earlier on, so if anyone's at the stadium and know the price of the hot dog and chips combo, do let us know, as these are the important questions that need to be answered. Kyle Preston goes off to the right-hand side to George Bell. Jamie Adamson looking for the steal in the breakdown, this time almost managed to get it. Johnny McNichol goes back across the Ravers round. A good quick hands from Harvey. Springer on the outside. Dallas McLeod, he receives the forward pass. So they'll now go back for the penalty. And also we have their school, respectable school, says Kyle. So the school's respectable, not their bus. Lester lost his boot, says Jasmine. And also CRUSADERS will make the semi-final. I just realised that's with like the accent, isn't it? This is the year of the Canes train, choo-choo. Do you sniff shoulders? Not normally. I also don't normally sniff people in general, though. More specifically, not their shoulders. You normally get looked at funny if you do that. You know? Oh, here comes Kunawawe, making his way onto the field. It's a youngster. Coming from the under-20 setup. Debut for the All Black Sevens a couple of years ago. Am I getting him mixed up with maybe his younger brother? I might be, actually. Oh, no, there it is. The New Zealand under-20s last year. Never mind. I thought there might have been another fella that I was thinking of. But no, it is Kunawawe. He's actually bulked up quite a bit since the last time that I've seen him play. See whether or not he can use that extra power. And Sweden, we sniff shoulders. What is that? Is that like a greeting? You know how dogs like sniff each other's behinds? Is it like a shoulder sniff? That's a great try from David Harvey, carving through the defence of the Waratahs. And that should now secure the bonus point here for the CRUSADERS. Winning this game by 20 currently with a kick still to come. I don't think the CRUSADERS can go all the way this year, says Fapai. And also try, says David the Mod. Manages to get through there. David Harvey doing nicely. Like I've said, just a well-worked try there from the CRUSADERS. 1 second, we'll go like that. Oh, there's a big boo. And that is because they are going to be checking it. Okay, they're saying it's the actions of Red 20. They are going to be checking here. Can you give us a woodchuck? Says Patrick. What do you mean a woodchuck? I did do the how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood earlier on. Yeah, there's a bit of a foot grab there going on in the breakdown. Whether or not it created the gap. Okay, Red 20's held him. Okay, it's going to be a no try. So in the first half, it was David Harvey who got penalised for obstruction, and his teammate had it disallowed. Now this time, it's David Harvey's try that's been disallowed with the obstruction from Johnny Lee. Try, says David the Mod. I think your moderator is under the influence of some substance. I always think that when I read your comments, Jason, but about you. That one's going to be going over the top. Lawson Crichton goes away to the left-hand side. A wide cut-out pass. Nice take there from Sid Harvey. One more on the outside. Oh, big driving tackle from Kunawave as he pushes Jorgensen into touch. One of the other guys aren't far off with their predictions. I think he said 42-21. Congrats to the Crusaders, opening new stadium on the winning note. By the way, bring back their old logo. The latest one, 6 big times, says Run Forest Run. I know that the logo, the horses, those are the two ones on a lot of Crusaders fans, I guess, dream sheet in terms of what they'd like to see for this Crusaders side in the future. Now away to the left-hand side. Nice take by Johnny McNichol, who looked for a risky offload. It's picked up by Kunawave. And the two-man tackle on him just inside of the 22. Kyle Preston told to use it. Currently 4 minutes left on the clock. Well, still there for them. Hey, up, well done, Saders. Says random. This one's going down towards the sideline, bouncing steeply. Slapping it back was Max Jorgensen. They can still cancel out this bonus point here if they are able to score again, the Tars. It's just been 6 years since the South African Super Rugby match. Time for people to let it go. Says cool story. I don't think anyone will fully let it go. It's been a while since a Higuares was in there as well, but they're still talked about often. Pete Samu now running this one forward at Waratahs Rehana. So Waratahs start to get another attacking move going. Moving away to the left-hand side. It was Halaholo. 3 minutes still on the clock. 8 points for the Waratahs. We'll give them 2 bonus points from this game, and we cancel out 1 point for the Crusaders. Rings for Mercedes this year. Fingers crossed, says for Pie. In there too. Now going back to the left-hand side, almost through. But Teddy Wilson getting his offload up to Ioane Moananu. Then 3 meters out from the line, Jack Debrezzini passing it on the inside to Sid Harvey. Tackled by Johnny Lee. Just waiting for that perfect opportunity to attack. We'll note that Pete Samu, that's a knock-on in the breakdown, and that's going to be kicked back by Dom Gardner. Good awareness from the man in the 6th jersey. He's had a very busy day at the office. This one's kicked downfield. About 40 metres from their own line, the Waratahs. Jack Debrezzini, he's running it sideways, tackled, and a very nice one by David Havili again. Do the Chiefs have a bye this week? They do not. They play on Sunday up against the Fijian Roar. You'll give us a woodchuck for the win for the Crusaders. What is a woodchuck? Once again, I assume that's like the tongue twister, right? Yep, this one's going to be going. Oh, nice take there. Waratahs Rehana doing well under the high ball. Chiefs play Sunday, says Yasmin. Yeah, that is going to be up against the Fijian Roar. Low tackle made on Lester Fainga'anuku. Rolling this one back again, it is Kyle Preston. Now chasing after this one, not able to take it cleanly for the Crusaders chaser, but it does slip into the hands of Jorgensen, and now it looks like a rolling maul has been called. The knees are down, but it was unplayable, says Nick Berry, and it is now going to be the scrum feed for the Crusaders. 100, or less than that, in fact, 80 seconds remaining. Chiefs still have a bye left this season, though. Right, they still have a game ahead of the Hurricanes, says Pro Pleb. We'll go like this and like that. There you go. So that is the way that it sits. So they do have the one extra game ahead of the Hurricanes. At this stage, it's just the Waratahs and the Hurricanes who are behind. And also the Reds. But then by the end of the competition, it will all level itself out. For instance, the Crusaders, they have 4 more games after this, whereas the Waratahs, they have 5, because they've still got that extra game that they need to make up. Did the switch number 7 work for Leicester? I mean, he had an all right game. He got himself some tries. He got himself a try, had some carries. It's probably something that I don't know if they'll do it again. They might do if they still have injury problems in the loose forward trio. Because to this midfield's credit, I think Enwell's had a solid game, and Dallas McLeod has had a phenomenal one. Nice step there from Macca Springer out wide. Tries to get back up to his feet. He's had his foot still held. To release it now. Currently 8 seconds remaining. Do the Crusaders go for one last attack, or are they aware that they've got themselves that bonus point and don't really need to take any risks here? David Arvili going for the cross kick. That was a silly one, as it's going to be taken by Samu. Pops it up And now the Waratahs have the opportunity to cancel out the bonus point of the Crusaders. That was a terrible decision from Harville. If he was going to do that, he might as well have just booted that ball into touch. Now Teddy Wilson in possession. De Brezini, short ball there. Another offload from the Waratahs. That one's going to be knocked backwards by Braden Enor. Now Teddy Wilson running up the middle of the field. Beautiful wide cutout pass. And it's a knock on from Tristan Riley. Johnny McNichol kicks it into touch. And the first game at the new Christchurch Stadium is won 35 points to 20 in favour of the Crusaders. They have started Super Round on a high. They have booked themselves a 5-point victory in terms of the table. But now there's still more games to come. We get to find out exactly who it's going to be that finishes Super Round on the biggest high. We have got their new stadiums. Looks awesome. Can't wait to see the ABs get a crack on that perfect track. Says Random Buttworthy. Thanks, Hamish. Says the real Ando. And GG Tough Luck Tars. Well done, Crusaders from a Blues fan. Cheers, mate, for the stream. Says Sentiments. No worries at all. But yeah, in the end, you know, with how it looked at halftime, it seemed like it was going to be a lot closer, is all I'll say. But it just seemed like second half-wise, Crusaders, their game management started to kick in that little bit more. As soon as they confirmed that bonus point, they just kept on fighting to keep those few tries ahead. But no one has missed a kick here, ladies and gentlemen. And what that means is that tomorrow we might see the first ever missed kick at this location. Which isn't exactly a statistic that you want, but it's something that can happen in this scenario. Thanks, Hamish. Says the real Ando. No worries at all. But yeah, I hope you guys have all been doing very well. I hope you've enjoyed this first stream. We've got plenty more coming up for the Super Round tomorrow. It is going to be the Hurricanes going head-to-head with the Brumbies. That is the earlier game taking place at 5:05. And then from there, we have got the match straight after. That is going to be between the Blues and the Reds. Alongside that, we've also got the game taking place between the URC sides. Those are all happening throughout the night. And then 2 matches on Sunday involving the Highlanders and Moana. And then also the Chiefs versus Fiji and Drua. Also, just while we're at it, we might as well say there is also URC tomorrow morning. Sharks versus Edinburgh. And that is going to be one that's covered by Haino for us. We have got there, come on Blues, says Mondo. We have got there, well said as well done, Hamish. Cheers. Says Moa Hunters. Sham set up result. Says Jason, well, I don't think it was. I think they just played the better second half in this contest. Your moderator sucks also. I will say, Jason, if you're going to talk trash about the moderators, you won't last long. That's all I'm going to say. I know that normally we let you away with a few things, but, you know, if you're disrespecting the ones who are literally helping keep the stream running, then, you know, you get the boot pretty quick. Let's go, Warriors. Says Mondo there, and Sharks Edinburgh better learn to swim. Says Pro Pleb, yeah, although Sharks narrowly losing to Ospreys last week, Edinburgh desperate for the points, so are the Sharks, both sides just outside of that top 8, so it will get very intriguing. See who gets themselves the points in that one. We have got there, I think Falcon says for Pie, and you're behind the DSTV stream. Which is behind the satellite. Says, cool story, yeah, normally we're about a 30 or so second delay, maybe a bit further. Hamish rigged this match. I did. I contacted all the players and told them what the score had to be at the end. And that's what happened. They got it to that score. How many dudes you know? As in, like, in life? I know a few people. We have there, Jason Sauer, great sketch, you nowhere. Says David there. He will be hoping that his Highlanders can get the job done up against Moana on the Sunday. So it just makes that task that little bit more challenging now that if we look at the table, Crusaders will move up to 26 points. They are up to 4th. So even though they have lost a lot of games this year, they haven't had the clean sweep done against them by the Australians, but they still have 4 more matches up against New Zealand sides. I don't know if 26 points are enough. They probably need at least 1 win up against the sides around the corner, whether that is the Canes, the Blues, or the Chiefs. But yeah, very intriguing kind of next 24, 48 hours or so. See exactly who is going to be moving forward and getting that little bit more of a boost. We have there, I don't know anybody, says Shane. You're saying you don't know like a single person outside of the streams. You don't know any people in life. Jason Mump says Maga there. And Fainga'anuku to 8. Well, he was playing a little bit of 8 in those scrums, wasn't he? He was playing more of the back of the scrum role. But he's got Noah Hotham trying to stick his finger up his nose at the moment. They are just going to have a check to David Harvilli. See there, a few of the Crusaders celebrating with their teammates. I see an Ethan Black out of there. There's a Cullen Grace. He has a knee injury, although he's walking all right at the moment, to be fair. He might be back before the end of the season if he's lucky. I assume Will Jordan will be somewhere in the mix there as well. But yeah, there's a lot of injured guys at the moment. I think Will Tucker's there, but I don't know if that was down to injury or whether that was just down to him not being selected. Commentary is very good. I wouldn't mind watching you react to rugby compilations on YouTube. Says Pro Plebe. Yeah, copyright's a tricky one, though. I do see that someone has joined, ladies and gents. Down in the bottom corner, he is still on Mark's couch by the looks of it, too. He's just showing Mark from the side. So what I will do is I will add you two onto the stream because we can't... Wait, 10. That looked like it was a 10. Was that a 10? I'm not very good at sign language, Tony. What does that mean? Does that mean add you? Thumbs up? Yeah. Okay, I've added you, Tony.
Whoa, I'm here. Holy shit, why'd you do that?
What was the sign language? I was
trying to say we'll be with you in 10 minutes. Are you going to be on the air for the... Is that okay? I'll come back in 10 minutes.
You guys can join in 10 minutes time if that works better. You're about to do a review.
Yeah, Mark's got to do his review, and he's got some amazing things to say. We did have him while he's just setting up. We had a moment where I felt like we were going to be sucked into the vortex of live streaming while we were live streaming, and then I turned you on and you were live streaming and I was commenting inside your live stream. I felt like I was like somehow like a time traveler of some description. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, and you were behind the broadcast, and everyone's always telling us that we're behind the broadcast. It was all too much to deal with at the same time.
Because you could hear me, couldn't you, while you were streaming?
Yeah, you became...
Because you were answering questions. And
you were people on our stream could hear you. So you streamed on 2 Cents tonight as well. Congratulations.
There you go.
High point of your career. All right, we'll chat in 10 minutes, and I'll give you some of our hot takes, won't we, Mark?
Yes, the hottest of hot takes.
He's a wreck just thinking of these hot takes. It's like he's got a teepee going on. Holy smokes. All right.
Alrighty. Well, enjoy your review. We'll see you in about 10. Or was I supposed to wait? How do you... What, half? Yep. Alrighty.
Actually, you know what? If I do that there, you can do the other half of the heart.
Wait, see, I'm reversed, though. So what... Is it this way or that way?
No, the way you're doing it the first way.
That way? Like that?
Yeah. That, look.
That doing it? See, I have to do it the outside side. But yeah, okay. Really? We'll see you in about 10.
See you, mate. Bye-bye.
Right, so Tony will be coming back alongside Mark in about 10 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, so we can go through some of the stats. This is something that we haven't done on a Super Rugby stream in quite some time in terms of these post-match stats and whatnot. Top performers, do let me know the man of the match that you guys felt in this contest. I know they were talking to Lester Fainga'anuku after the game, but... a few decent performances, definitely from some of the guys. Like I mentioned, Dallas McLeod, I think for me, he's probably my man of the match. Either that or Dom Gardner. Because, Dallas McLeod, he wasn't even supposed to be in this team till the second half, making his way off of the bench. But, 1 second, we'll go like that. There we go. We got the scoreboard back in the middle. But he came on, got himself 2 tries, managed to get 71 metres carried from his 10 carries, 11 defenders beaten. That's a statistic I didn't see until just then. 11 defenders beaten is insane for a singular game. That's kind of Timothy Tava-Tava-Nawai type of level from Dallas McLeod there. We did see 70 metres run by Dom Gardner from his 16 carries. He had 1 defender beaten, just as a little bit of a comparison there. Tim Horan was on. I had to turn the volume down. It was that lost guy, says our underdog pick. Wait, Tim Horan was on. Wait, as in who was Tim Horan or the guy who just came on the stream? Howdy, Hamish and all. Crusaders type 5 scrum and line-out was immense. Says starts race. Yeah, they did a lot of line-out steals, didn't they? Throughout that middle stage of the game, definitely at the start of the second half. They were just taking that ball away for fun, and it was really causing problems for the Waratahs. In fact, I think that was possibly the big turning point. First half was extremely close, but second half, as soon as those line-out throws were going astray, the Crusaders stole, I think it was 3 or 4. Like, that was just a very tricky time. Do some joking while doing the live stream. Says Kanjaku, what would you like me to say? I think that the Waratahs line-out in the second half was a joke. That was badumts, but I don't have the sound effect. Hang on, I think I can get sound effects. 1 second. It's just a little slap noise, wasn't it? Anyone hear that? Oh, that was loud. Sorry for anyone who's listening through headphones. That might have been a bit too much. We have their third studio analysis. Says our underdog pick there. But yeah, in terms of the Waratahs performance, Sid Harvey had a solid game. He had 88 metres carried, with 7 defenders beaten, as well as 3 clean breaks. Scored 15 of the points for the Waratahs, including not actually missing any kicks throughout the contest, which was pretty impressive. And same with kicking of the Crusaders. No one's missed a kick at this new stadium as of yet, at least not during a game. TAB had this call option to bet across games. Any 3 are Cam Roygar, Cole Forbes, Jonah Lowe, and Leroy Carter to score a try. Says Pro Pleb. That might be all right. So it didn't include anyone from this game, though, Pro Pleb, right? Oh, I think was that the one before the game they said Sever Reese was involved in it, but because of him being withdrawn, they changed the rules on it a little bit. And I will also mention the upcoming games for these two sides, ladies and gentlemen. For the Crusaders, they have got a tough Kiwi finish to this competition up against the Hurricanes next week. That game will be in Wellington. Then from there, 3 home games on the trot up against the Blues, the Chiefs, and then also the Hurricanes for that Friday night fixture near the end of May. For the Waratahs, they have some pretty tough games too, but they have got themselves 5 games still remaining. They are one of the sides, including the Hurricanes, who do still have the 5 matches to finish off. Next game up against the Force. Then they play the Highlanders, the Fijian Drua, the Brumbies, and the Western Force. So the Tars have 2 home games remaining out of their 5 matches. 2 tough away games too, up against the Landers and the Fijian Drua back-to-back in 2 weeks' time. They're a little bit unlucky too with the fact that they have to play the Western Force twice. This Western Force side currently are very unpredictable. You have no idea whether or not they're going to come out absolutely firing, or they're going to have some struggling times over the next few games. They actually have the bye for this week, though, the Force. They are playing next week, though, up against the Tars, like I mentioned. Hurricanes play the Crusaders. Those are the 2 Friday night games. The Fijian Drua will play the Highlanders. That one in Fiji. Moana Pacifica up against the Blues. And then Reds versus Brumbies. That is the game taking place on the late night Saturday kickoff at 9:35. We have got there my take. One up front for me, type 5 gave room for Gardner and Leicester to play the game slightly looser. All that tackling and work in the first 40 by the Tars forwards was the difference. Just my opinion, though. No, I agree. I think that the front for the Crusaders, like Dom Gardner, he had a very strong game. And almost a little bit of an underrated one compared to this was probably a standout performance for him this year. But there were also a few other guys who did great work as well. Like Antonio Chalfoun was covering a huge amount of turf out there. Threat level moderate. Says our underdog pick. We have their World Cup made then. Says the underdog. And it was meant to be Sever Reese, but he's out. And also we have got the Rico don't know about starting. Rico don't know about starting. Rico, as in like Rico Ioane. Does Rico make the squad? Okay, I see that there. Maybe. It depends, because Rennie said he's basing it off form. Rico's had a couple handy games for Leinster. He's also had a couple shaky ones, but, those URC playoff games later on, Leinster more than likely going to be through to the quarterfinals, more than likely make their way to the semis as well. So if Rico's playing in those games, playoff rugby, and stepping up, he might find his way in there. I missed the whole game, bloody time zones, says Ziggy Bear. Yeah, it's a tricky one in terms of some of the other places around the world. There is a game taking place at 6:45 a.m. New Zealand time tomorrow. But at the same time, that one is one that we're getting someone else to cover for us. We have there, put New Zealand flag along your stream for some commanding. I don't think we've got a New Zealand flag. Oh, no, to be fair, we got this one. Look at that little thing. It's got the New Zealand silver fern in it. It's not quite the flag. We've also got one of randomly tied furlong. I don't know when that one got there. And also of, what else have we got? We got one of George looking sad. Look at that. These are all emojis that you guys can access if you are a channel member. And there's also a Boomfar one. There we go. Look at that. All sorts of little toys. We have there. Do you think Artie will thrive in Japan? I think he's been going all right, hasn't he, from what I've seen. I think that for Savia, it's going to be interesting when he comes back to New Zealand because I feel like he's going to be met with a bit of a mixed reception. You know, whether or not Rennie selects him as his captain is probably a good question as well. There are a few men in the running for that role currently, but I think he'll do all right. He's been in Japan. Was it before Moana Pacifica? He had that season between playing for the Hurricanes and Moana. So, like, he's had the chances, and he normally does pretty well over there. You'll be streaming Draw versus Chiefs. Yes, we will be doing that one, as well as all the other matches that have taken place for the Super Round. Also, a few URC ones. You should download the New Zealand flag from Google and insert it on the right corner. It will look very cool. Says Kinjaku. Did you not like my little... I like this one. This one looks quite nice. It's got I think Isaac made that one ages ago for the New Zealand versus South Africa matches because we've also got one like that. We got one with a springbok across it for South Africa there too. We've got to try one. There we go. Look at that. We saw a lot of tries throughout this contest. 5 for the Crusaders to be exact. Just the 2 from the Waratahs. Didn't Sonny Bill Williams do something similar going to Japan? Yeah, was he over there for a year, Sonny Bill? Or was it longer than a year? I can't remember how long he went over in the end. Now we over there, you should do it permanently or temporarily, as long as what you like, your choice, says Kinjaku. I'll think about it. Because I know that I can only have so many on my software, or else it tells me I'm going to have to pay more money. South Africa one is stylish, says Studs Race. Yeah, I think they're both still... I'd like to think they're both still ones on the channel, like in terms of the emojis. Do you have fully New Zealand National Anthem memorised? Relatively. I do still mess up some of the Māori parts just because I haven't sung it since primary school. But I know most of it, I think. Nice Studs, let them know. Says they're a underdog pick. So, I will ask you guys the question as well. Next game. Or the one after, or the one after, or the one after. Which one out of the rest of the Super Rugby round are you looking forward to for the Super Round and Super Rugby Pacific? These are the other games that are taking place. I think, even though it's considered as the second in terms of how close it will be, Hurricanes Brumbies. That's going to be a pretty good one in my opinion. I think that game, the Hurricanes, they are coming off a loss, that Golden Point win for the Chiefs in the last contest. We saw the Brumbies lose and be the first team to lose to the Fiji and Roa at their home location in over 3 years. So they will want to bounce back. Blues versus Reds is anticipated to be relatively close. The Blues getting a lot of their big players back for that contest, but still missing Caleb Clark, which I think will be a little bit of a concern. But the Reds, they've got their fair share of decent players too. The Highlanders, Moana, they've had some great battles in the past. Moana Pacifica considered as the big underdogs throughout pretty much the rest of this competition, with a bit of unknown about whether or not they're going to be still here for Super Rugby next season. And then Chiefs versus Fiji and Roa. $9 underdog is what the Fiji and Roa were in their last game up against the Brumbies, and we all know how that one turned out. This Chiefs side, they have a chance to extend their lead at top of the table with still plenty of rounds to go. But we have got a whole heap of messages. We have got there... what other games are you covering? So we've got Haino doing the Sharks versus Edinburgh game tomorrow morning. Then from there, I'm going to be doing the Super Rugby games. So the next 4 matches taking place, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. For the URC, we're going to be covering Stormers versus Glasgow Warriors. That one will be around 11:30 p.m. tomorrow, New Zealand time. Then from there, we've got we've got Connacht versus the Lions. That is at 2 a.m. We'll be doing that one. And then potentially doing Bulls versus Scarlets. Maybe. That one's 6:45 a.m. New Zealand time. We'll see how we're going by then. I don't think Sonny Bill had a good reception when he returned from Japan. Says Pro Pleb. And we have got there, I remember when Rico saved that try at Eden, says Shane, and I was Hurricanes versus Crusaders will be a banger. And the best thing is we get to see it twice. So if it's good next week, the benefit we got is we wait 3 more weeks and then we get to see it again, which is pretty awesome. We have got there, that's a tough. I think Canes versus Brumbies, but Reds versus Blues is going to be great. Says Hayno. Did the Stormers lose last time? Yeah, they lost last week in their game up against the, who was it that they faced? They faced Connacht and actually lost that game. They weren't supposed to, I can tell you that right now. But Connacht just wanted it that little bit more. And also we have got their Reds have turned the corner. Could be tough for the Blues, says Shane. Yeah, it won't be an easy game. Crusaders run home is tough. Canes, Chiefs, Canes. Canes, Blues, Chiefs, Canes. And massive game for our boys Stormers. Says Yanu, yeah, important top of the table clash in the URC. Going head-to-head with the Glasgow Warriors there. And we have got there as Kiwi Rob left Kiwi Lads management now. He started his own stream. I'm not actually sure where he is. We haven't seen him for the last week and a bit, I think. So I don't know whether or not he's ended up with like someone getting rid of him. Not like in real life, as in like in the chat side of things, because I don't actually know where to find that. Or he's just decided to leave. He might be here for the Blues game though, maybe up against the Reds. Was there ever an insect or an ant touching your desktop? There was a spider once, but it was all right. We don't really have a lot of ants where I am, but at least not inside. But yeah, spider every once in a while might say hi. I think we named it on the stream, and then it might have got released outside. Maybe. I think I put it in a box. Speaking of putting men in a box, interesting transition, but they are down the bottom at the moment, and we're about to bring them in. It looks like there's a guitar. Hopefully no copyrighted tunes. They may even, if you're lucky, sing the national anthem for you. But here they are. We have got Tony, and we have got Mark back again. Hello, lads.
Hello. Hey, it's Hamish.
Woo!
Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick that there, and I'm going to swap it so that you guys, there we go. I'm down in the bottom corner.
God.
Look at the size of us.
Where are you gonna stick us?
Nowhere in particular. What are you doing with that guitar, Tony?
I was playing songs in our live stream.
Oh, were you? Were you playing them in the review
Singing
as
about
well?
the TMO.
I was singing about the TMO.
Ooh, okay. A lot of TMO inclusion in that game, wasn't there?
Tony's a big fan of TMO. He wants to get every little thing right. He wants all the I's dotted and all the T's crossed.
It doesn't make me feel slow at all. It's time for the TMO. TMO. I'll put the guitar down, eh? How's that?
Alrighty. So what did you think of the game, first of all? I assume you like
I don't give a shit about the game.
Okay. Fair enough.
You want to talk about the stadium?
Yeah, the stadium. How do you feel as a Christchurch lad to have the stadium back? Like, how old were you in 2011? Because this was actually quite a formative experience for me personally.
I was probably about 11 or 12, somewhere around there.
So that would have been quite. Was it a bit? Did you feel the quakes in your little area, South Canterbury? You got some shake-ups?
Yeah, we got a little bit of rocking. We were around at my grandparents' house. And it was, we were going to have chips. I still remember the chips, of course. But, yeah, a little bit of shakiness. I don't think we went under a table or anything, though. It was just weird. It's like a roller coaster that if you don't like it, you can't get off it.
Yeah.
You know?
So, but you don't, but it was really the city centre where, that was the worst thing about it, like just hit right in the middle of the city centre, didn't it?
Well, because they've had to go through all the, the special reinforcement and everything, haven't they, for the new stadium? Although they didn't get the horses in the end. I know that you had that included
about the no horses thing?
Yeah, I'm a bit bummed about it.
I'm a bit bummed about it. I was just saying the other day that, like, when my kids go to Eden Park or something, they're more interested in the bouncy castles and the hot chips and all the frills stuff rather than the actual rugby.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because I feel like it makes sense why they couldn't do it, but I think
wait a second. Stop. I reckon you're going to take a position on the fence. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think the way that they described it, like as a safety hazard and whatnot, just made people not like them. Because if they had said, look, this turf costs a really large amount of money and we don't want it getting trotted on, then people would have gone like, oh, that's a bit rough. But at the same time, fair enough. because it's like $1 million turf. But
Yeah.
because they said, oh, it's because the crowd are too close, people go, well, you know, the horses aren't planning on jumping into the crowd. So
How
that
do you know
doesn't
what a horse
sound...
is playing?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true.
Do you go to their
I don't know what
meetings?
they're thinking. No, I haven't been invited to any of those yet, but
You haven't been
fingers
invited to the
crossed
horse
one day.
meetings? But no, just in general, I thought it was really lovely to see the city of Christchurch like have finished. Oh Jesus!
Is that you guys coming
Oh,
through?
shit.
Oh no!
Oh shit!
His TV coverage is
Oh,
turned
Oh,
on.
I thought that was the
Yeah.
sound of like the
Unfortunately,
stream in the
copyright.
background, but
Sorry,
we'll just
back.
keep on
It
talking.
was really lovely to see the city of Christchurch have that moment. Like, so I feel like it was a huge step to be like this. We're kind of fully back now. Like that's the thing that we've been kind of waiting for. Like Orange Theory Stadium or whatever the hell it was called was a real piece of shit in my opinion. Like I know you had a lot of success there and stuff, but it wasn't from all accounts, not a great viewing experience and not up to the quality of what that team really deserves, especially with all the success they've had. So I felt really, really pleased for the city and for the region as a whole and for the whole of the South Island and for New Zealand to have that stadium back up and go. But the game, it was a fine game. It was a good game of rugby, and I was happy to see the Waratahs made a bit of a go at it. The same time, especially at the beginning, but scrum time and especially line out time they're just so poor. They just could not give themselves a chance to get into it. I don't know. What were your thoughts?
I think that's what cost them in the second half. Those 3 lineouts lost in a row just took any sort of momentum away. Plus the amount of, how many cards did we have in the end? 2 for the Waratahs, 1 for
2 for the Waratahs, 1 for the
Crusaders.
Crusaders.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So, but then the Waratahs scored during the time that they had a man off for the first one. So it's a bit of a weird momentum thing.
Yeah, a bit of a weird momentum game and a weird. You could tell that it was a big game for both teams, not only just because of where they were at the table and 6 play 7 and all that shit, but it kind of felt like a special game. I don't know. Did you feel the same? Like it had that sort of special feel, like it was bigger than a lot of. My only complaint was like I know you're like the most fence-sitting Cantabrian in the fucking world. Pardon my language, apologies. But it felt like, for me, it should have been Blues versus the Crusaders to kick it off. What do you reckon?
Yeah, although then who would you have had? Would you have put like an Aussie derby together, or would you have just changed? Like, I wouldn't have minded if it worked out to be maybe you have, I guess you'd take maybe the Chiefs in the draw and split them up. Go maybe draw versus Reds or something like that, and then also Chiefs versus someone else. Like, it would have been nice to have one New Zealand derby, but I guess we kind of get that with Highlanders Moana in a way. But
yeah, but it's not
still,
quite but it's yeah, it's just not there. Not quite there, is it?
it would have made for one big blockbusting game, but then, like Hamish says, you would have had one other game, which is kind of a bit of a. You would have had to have a kind of curtain raiser game at some other point.
Yeah. I've got something to admit to you, Hamish. Can I be open with you?
I guess so.
I'm experiencing a bit of gas. What's the policy on stream farting?
You should be asking me. I'm the one more directly affected by the situation.
I don't know if we've had one on a stream before, so if you want to make some history.
My dad sat next to me once when I was recording. I used to record in my living room.
Yeah.
And my dad once, when I was like, I need to do a video, Dad, he's like, oh, can I just sit here? Like just off camera? And I was like, that's fine. And he definitely dropped a bomb in the middle of my video. And I just plowed on through it. I just keep going.
That's all right.
Sorry.
I'm sure they've heard worse, some of them, but also apologies for any young viewers who might still be hanging around.
Hopefully it's late in the stream that it's not going to affect your stream too much. Most people have gone to bed.
I'm always encouraging people on your stream to give you a bit of quiche. Are they giving you a bit of quiche yet or anything like that? Like, do you get some good donations?
Not on this stream, no. We've been quiet, but that's because I've been continuously asking the question as well. I think people are spending the money on the hot chips at the stadium, but I don't know how much they are currently, and it's annoying.
Oh, really?
Because the old stadium, Orange Theory or Apollo Projects, depending on what you call it now, but like it used to be, I think it was like $11 or $12 for hot dog and chips combo because we went to one game. I've only ever been to one Super Rugby game, and it was there. And it was that really low-scoring Highlanders Crusaders game.
How far did you live from there?
Like currently, currently we're like 2 hours 45 from that stadium. I don't actually live in Christchurch. I'm further
but
south, but
you're from Canterbury,
yeah,
technically, aren't you?
I
It's a
guess,
big
yeah,
area.
technically on the map, yeah. But if I head like 10 minutes south, I'm in Otago, so it's kind of
Yeah, right.
So you should be going to Highlanders games and Crusaders games. What are you trying to say?
theoretically it could work. And now I would be able to be under a stadium roof either way. So
Either way,
Yeah,
North
yeah,
Island
exactly.
suckers and us
Exactly.
with the
I know.
elements.
And you've but either way, you're shagging a sheep, aren't you? Where you are.
no, not
What?
really.
Well,
Is that a-
Cantabrians love to go with the sheep, and the Otago folks, they even pick the pretty ones. So you got to be halfway between those two. So who's your team? If you had to like ride or die on a team, who's your team?
I don't really have. I like the Hurricanes kit the best because it's yellow.
You pick a team like
So on the fence.
you spend so much time talking about rugby. Do you like rugby?
But I don't mind it. Yeah, but it's because I do so many games like in different competitions that because of doing so many like different teams games, you kind of get used to just being on.
I do
the
get
side.
that element of it. Like
Mm.
I used to have more of a genuine dislike for some teams than I do now, because once you cover them and talk
Like
about
who?
them so much, you kind of get an affinity with some of the
I feel
players.
that way about England.
Yeah, England and
Yeah,
Australia
yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. For me, the Crusaders a bit as well.
Oh no, I can't stand the Crusaders.
The first time I put on a Crusaders jersey, it felt wrong.
Yeah. Did you have to like
I had to have a bath afterwards.
have to bath? Did you
to get the Dettol.
did you cry wank?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I did have a cry wank.
Into the jersey.
Yeah, 100%. A cry wank is when you feel ashamed of yourself but slightly aroused. So you
Right,
have
okay.
to get it out somehow. Here you go.
All these years, and you still have this guy on as your guest on your live streams. It's
Yeah, there's
incredible.
well, you have him like live with you though, so surely that's
Week after week
that's
after
risky,
week
I
after
isn't it?
feel
week
like
after
there's a
week.
little bit more of an I can have like I said influence on what he's saying, but you're
Just
you're
he-
victim to
he
whatever
raw
he comes out with.
He raw dogged it.
Mm.
Guess what I did though, mate?
Oh no, that's a transition.
Can you tell?
I can that because someone mentioned to me a couple of weeks ago. They were like, "Oh, by the way, Tony's married now." I said, "What?"
I am married.
Like when
I got married.
Yeah, I must. Yeah, don't know whether or not you know my address. I don't receive an invitation, Tony. I don't.
Yeah, it's still.
I was waiting
you guys
for
are-
it. And,
You guys are a long way away. It's still on its way. Still on its
okay.
way.
Yeah, our mail system's pretty slow, so it might be here by
Yeah, I know.
Christmas. And,
It's tough down there.
When's Hamish getting married?
Yeah, have you got a lady?
no, I have to find
Oh,
one first. One
come
has a
on,
steak.
Anybody on the horizon?
Too much live streaming, man.
Yeah.
Come on, you need to get out there.
You need to get on that poo
This is your prime. You're in your prime.
Yeah.
Don't waste these
You're
years.
speaking to two middle-aged
You've
men.
got plenty of time to sit around and watch rugby.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be lonely.
That's true.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll try and make an effort at some stage. But like international rugby's coming up, isn't it, in July? And
Yeah, I know.
So
But
maybe
It's
it's like-
July. We're
Yeah.
still in friggin' April.
Yeah, that's
what's
true, actually.
what's the stream saying? What everyone give Hamish some advice to get his love life cranking. What's some advice? Getting some advice? What is your husband's name?
Oh, ba-boom.
Mark. Yeah, there we go. Mark.
Mm.
Oh, don't win my ring.
Yeah, I've seen his other ring.
Oh,
Oh wow, he likes bowling alley ladies. That's a different story for a different day.
You like bowling alley?
No,
ladies?
There's an
Bowling alley.
old story that it involves like they say it was a grandma, but it really wasn't. She was like 30 something. But
she was
it
a kill.
30 something. We're young.
Yeah.
We're older than that. 30 something's
Hey?
the dream.
You guys
We're in
not
our
in your
40s.
30s anymore.
We're in our 40s.
Ah,
Yeah.
I'm almost in my
grass for the
30s.
young
I'm
ones.
getting close. You know.
Yeah. So you're at a stage of life where you should be out having a great time, but it's great talking to you, but you should not be wasting your time talking to the likes of us
This
on,
is
on a
true.
Friday night. You should
It's
be
a
out there.
Friday night.
Out there. Getting your poo-tang on. I'm gonna stop saying poo-tang. Nobody says poo-tang anymore.
I don't think we've ever had that word said this much on ever on the channel. You know?
Anyway, what were your thoughts on the game of rugby that we watched?
I enjoyed it. I feel like it was like a nice opener for the stadium because the last thing, well, outside of people from like other regions of the country, like the last thing that the Crusaders needed was to lose that game. In terms of like they wanted to pick up the momentum from that last stadium, and like the Tars at times looked like they were going to have a decent crack at it, and it seemed like maybe
It looked like they turned up physically, I thought.
And also they said about a stat how had the Crusaders lost this game, they would have lost every single Australian
Every Aussie team, yeah, true.
which is pretty crazy. But the fact that even with that, they're still inside of now the top 4 is, you know, I still wouldn't want to play them in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Yep,
but
they've moved
other
up to
people have a
4th.
game in hand.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, depending on what happens for the Brumbies and the Reds. So, of course, your Blues boys, Mark. Is that a Blues hat as well, or is that?
Of course,
Blues
there's a
logo,
members
isn't it?
hat, man.
A members
Oh, yeah,
hat.
look at
That's a
him.
bit fancy, isn't it?
He just flopped out his deck on the stream, just saying this is a members
I
hat.
really
Did you
hope
see that?
he
From
didn't.
2018.
From
Or
2018.
2017? So, the sticker.
Oh, yeah, it's got the Blues on the back with a big B on front. Oh, we got a new... Oh, no, it's not a new member. It's Milo, who's been a member for 11 months. He said...
Oh,
"Two cents
Milo.
gets distracted,
Milo.
invades
Milo's
Kiwi." Is
back
he
up.
one of your fellas too?
Yeah, well,
He's a
one of
good
his,
lad.
but
He's a good lad. Very good
he
lad.
bought lots of memberships. Tons of the fucking things. Oh.
You gotta stop
I'm
swearing.
trying not to swear. I even dropped the C-bomb. I apologize.
Yeah, I'm going to have to try and edit out that little bit, aren't I? So that YouTube
How are you going
don't
to do
hate
that?
me.
Can't
What-
edit it live.
What are we on? Are we on
Hold on
your
a second.
live stream or
We're back in a sec.
where are you going?
I need it.
He's publishing his video. Are we on your live stream or are we on your post-match review?
Still live stream, still the same one. We just pretty much talked about the post-match stats and what's coming up in the weekend and whatnot.
All right. How many viewers have we got at the moment?
We've still got 79.
79 people are watching me and you. Well, I'm watching you. I'm sure they're appreciating you. I really am. But sometimes I 79 is not a massive number, but it's still quite a few people. You know,
We
I
are
hope you're
like
well out there,
over
whoever you
30
are.
minutes outside of the game finishing as well, though. Which
Yeah, it's
I think
pretty good. What was your peak of viewers you had?
Oh,
Oh, tough question.
I'm not actually too sure. It was over. I saw it was 250 at one point. I think it might have been 300, but I could be wrong.
Wow. You get more than he does, that's for certain.
A lot more.
Yeah, a lot more.
But where's that come from? Is he like 3 rooms over?
He's gone off to the other room to upload his video. His
That's the
post-match.
review, right? Hey, I think if I can, when he uploads it, I might be able to put the link so that it takes people straight to it. We got gifted memberships from Milo as well.
Oh!
The 10 gifted memberships.
Wow, he did
Thank
that.
you very
He
much,
did
Milo.
shitloads
Greatly
of those.
appreciated.
My God, the guy's just spent so much.
Oh.
Thank you, Milo.
And a few of
Mark.
the regulars have managed to get yelling.
I
But yeah, a
never
few of the regulars got them too.
I never get I don't have any memberships to anything.
Have you got your settings turned on that you can get a membership though? Because that's a thing, right?
Milo's
gotta, like, check
gifting
a button?
memberships over here now.
Yeah.
Isn't he? He's gifting memberships over here.
He's a king.
He is a king of a man. Like, you're the big dog back. Here he comes. Here he comes. Watch out.
Oh, here comes the last. Oh, look at that.
Look at that. Oh, that was exciting. Yeah. Well, we can't wait to see you at the wedding. It's going to be great. He was here. He made it.
I did.
He went to the wedding.
I
Well,
wore this
that's
t-shirt, but not this jacket.
not that one. Okay. Because I was going to say, you guys, of course, each week have a podcast, of
This
course.
is true.
Because you did have one right before the wedding, didn't you?
Yes.
Was
we
it on the
released
same
our
day?
first one. No, it wasn't the wedding day. It was
The wedding night.
a few weeks, no, about a week before. So we recorded on the Monday and the wedding was on the Saturday.
Yeah. All right. Oh, on the day of what games were on that weekend?
Oh, we don't
Fucking
know, guys.
nothing. We don't know anything about. I certainly don't know anything about rugby. But he does. I'm pretty good at knowledge about the North Harbour rugby team of the mid-90s. If you want to ask me questions about
How's
that.
your URC streams going to compare to your Super Rugby ones? You get better numbers for your URC games?
We used to for the URC, but now it's kind of dropped a little bit more, I'd say, as a whole. But once like back into
Does it
playoff
depend
games,
which teams you cover though? Like if you were to do Leinster, would you get a lot more than if you were to do like Cardiff?
yeah, normally like South African teams are at the top in terms of like the numbers side of things, and then
Yeah.
you're more like Leinster do all right as a whole, I would say,
Okay.
in terms of like that is the next side, but like outside of that, it's normally just like Champions Cup wise. Since we're in the playoffs, it can go all right
Either
as
way.
well. Like we did at
Mm.
Toulouse versus Bordeaux, which was a very good game as well, to be
Yep.
fair. But like that one went all right. It just depends on who's up at the random hours on the weekends.
I suppose
I
so.
guess the
Right.
I just find the URC has more trends to like I can like for a match review, I can know which games will do better based on the teams more than
Yeah.
Super Rugby, which is a lot more even.
Yeah, because I guess New Zealand sides as well for as a whole are pretty similar, I think, in terms of
Mm.
New Zealand viewership. What are you doing, Tony?
You've got to ignore him when he's doing that. Don't. You're playing into his hands, man. You know this guy. You're doing a rookie mistake, man. Come on.
Yeah,
We've got-
I was
He's waiting for the
I was
reaction.
just waiting for someone to bite.
He was going to tire himself out. You needed to leave it. Oh,
Yeah, week after week after week, he works this out.
Milo,
Yes.
totally off topic, but what's the best restaurant for an anniversary engagement dinner in Auckland?
is he getting married?
Oh wow. I like what's it called? There's a few good places in the waterfront, which I really like. Some of the restaurants around there. Soul Bar, people like. What's the one that I often go to for kind of special occasions around that area? It's not pretentious food, but it's good food, but it's still expensive. What's it called?
Botswana Butchery, something.
Not the Botswana Butchery.
I've never been there. If I've walked past that.
Your mama's ass.
It's got a cleaver for a door handle.
Yeah, that's a good spot.
You been there?
Yeah.
I've not been
I'm thinking it used to be called the Food Store. What's it called now?
Don't know.
Oyster and Chop. I like Oyster and Chop. It's a good spot. There's a few good restaurants around those places. You'll find somewhere. You can do it, Milo. But anniversary engagement. Are you celebrating your anniversary to your girlfriend and at the time you're going to get engaged? I wouldn't do it at a
I'll
restaurant.
tell you what.
It's a bit much. At a restaurant, it's too much pressure at a restaurant.
If
Too
he's
many
getting
people.
married, the gifted memberships are going to go.
They're the end of those. They're done. They're done. Fantastic. Well, look.
KFC as a location for an engagement party.
Oh,
That'd be
yeah.
fun.
You
Get
like a
couple
bit of K
buckets
fry,
chickens.
don't you?
Yeah,
You
but
like
the
a bit of
nearest
K
one to
fry.
me is 30 minutes away, so it's a bit of a
30
trek.
minutes.
Yeah.
How close is McDonald's?
30 minutes. It's just across the road from KFC.
What about like
Ah.
Wendy's?
Nearest Wendy's is probably Dunedin, so like 2 and a bit hours.
Jesus. Are you going to move out of your small little town? Like, no, I'm sure it's a lovely spot in the world, but are you ever feeling like maybe one day you'll spread your wings?
There might be some
Maybe.
spots where there's some more, young women, out on the town.
Out on,
You think I should possibly spread my wings a bit and experience the world?
Well, how old are you now, Haim Dog?
I am 26 years old.
That's
Well,
fine.
you got to get
That's
out of
fine.
home, buddy. Come on, get the fuck out.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fine.
get out. Get out. Mum and Dad have been real nice up until now. Oh my God, I remember talking to you when you were like a lovely little sweet little baby boy. 20. I felt like you were 21, 22 when you kind of started all this shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been around there. I think 2020, somewhere around there,
Oh, that's
mid-year.
shit.
Yeah.
About 20.
Yep.
No, not 20
Yeah.
years, 6 years.
So 26. So time to get out. Time to spread your wings, my man. Can you do it to pay rent? Can you do it to enough to pay a bit of rent somewhere?
For this?
Yeah.
No. No.
You
it's
reckon?
Still a hobby at this stage.
I
Oh.
have to get a job.
I reckon you got to put yourself out there to some broadcasters or something because you can call a game like no one's business.
Mm.
You really can.
You were
Get
listening
some
to it
Heartland
while
Rugby commentary gigs or
commentating,
something.
were you?
What's that?
That's true.
Yeah.
I was, yeah, because they, even like the smaller competitions, you could sneak in there, couldn't you? I once did some commentary for a bloke in India for like a table tennis league,
Mm.
but
Did you get
I didn't know
paid?
much about, do I play or did I get paid?
Did you get paid?
I did, yes.
There
Yeah,
you go.
I had no
Wow.
idea what was going on.
Were
but
you
it was
like-
fun?
Were you I'm trying to think of like 2 Indian names that aren't racist.
No, but seriously, he should get
Yeah.
like some kind of gig, which is like either Heartland Rugby or the club rugby, where they just need
100%.
someone to call the game. Some of them just set up a single cam, right, and they just pan the game left, right. Like you could call that kind of game 100%.
You're a quality caller, and if you put your feelers out to actually like the likes of Sky Sport or anything like that, just say, hey, this is what I do, and just tell them something. Put out some of your stats. Like, what are you getting? Like on the World Cup final, you were getting over 100,000 viewers to actually watch the stream, weren't you?
Yeah, I think live we had about 13,000 watching at one time.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, 13,000. So let them know, and then like let's let them know your stats. Let them know what you've done. Like, send them some of your work. Put yourself out there, young man, before you turn into an old man.
I like how this has become like a business meeting just on a stream. Like we still got 59 people watching.
It's not a business meeting. There's nothing in it for us. We're just trying to give you a kick in the butt to get you got some good skills.
You got the talent.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
time people are on my live stream saying, "Can you call the action?" I'm like, "Go see Hamish.
Yeah,
He
he's good.
calls the action."
Yeah, exactly. Your mum and dad love you very much, but they're sick of your face. Now.
Okay. I get that. I think you're right.
Yeah. Because otherwise, and you can definitely make a living from it. I'm sure you can. Imagine getting paid like good money or decent money.
Well, some people go into it with just a broadcasting degree, but no actual experience. He's got years of experience.
Tons of fucking. He's got, they say 10,000 hours. He's definitely got that, I'd say, by now.
Easy.
Yeah, I don't want to do the maths on how many hours we've done. I think we've.
What's the chat say? They're saying go for it, Hamish.
We have got their bro as a UFC boxer. Is the first one I see. We've got their Preachy's a talented commentator from Thuds Race. My son is 26. Says Soviet Onion. It's a name and a half. We got their. Do we all agree sardines are the best? No.
No, I like sardines, but I don't know if they're the best.
What do you like them in? Are you a tomato sauce sardine kind of guy, or?
I don't mind sardines anywhere where they add a bit of flavor and saltiness to things. I like it. Yeah. Pizza. Okay. Anyway, I can eat sardines straight. Call me crazy.
I will.
You're crazy.
It's pretty impressive, really. Hamish, get off the breast milk, says Jason there too.
Oh, that's a call.
It's definitely an experience to move out of home.
Yeah, get out of home, mate. Come on, get out of home. You gotta just get a place. Where's Georgetown living?
He's just out on a farm. Is
he with his mum and dad still?
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
The mortgages are expensive, you know.
No, but you don't need to get a mortgage. Just fucking go pay fucking a couple $100 a week and rent somewhere, and go. You could afford what is it? Like,
rents down there must be cheaper than
what is rent's going to be for a spot?
I don't actually know.
You don't need a whole house. You just need a room. You just need to just go.
The thing is, though, like I would have to have very understanding roommates because, as you guys know, I'm up at like 2 a.m. yelling my head off. So that's
you just need to get your own. You just need to get even like a granny flat at the back of like someone else's house or some shit like that. There's heaps of spots like that. You can get it done.
That's true.
No one's gonna make you chips in the middle of the night. But like you have to make your own chips. That's the only thing he eats is chips. He just makes a plate.
I actually did have chips for dinner, but I had some chicken fried rice too.
Well done.
Horizons. Yeah,
that's growth. Is that growth?
You need some vegetables in there. Man.
Okay, so
there's vegetables in the fried rice.
Anything green?
What's your suburb? Whereabouts? Do you want to live further away from home?
I'm just going with the flow, really. I'll be honest.
Dunedin, there have been heaps of flats in Dunedin.
Dunedin, you should be able to get a spot. Dunners.
Maybe. I've been to Dunedin a few times. I don't mind it down there.
So have I. What the fuck?
Me too. I reckon.
Oh.
All right, so we're making a plan. To how much do you reckon you like?
No.
Give me give me a wink for every $100 you make.
You might need to supplement it with a part-time
Yeah,
job,
you
right?
need maybe a part-time job, but surely you can scrounge together $350 to $400 a week somehow. Not for rent, but for living, like to pay your rent and to pay for your food. You reckon you can?
Maybe. We'll see. Yeah.
You
Well, I'm
can.
working as like a full-time job currently outside of like the job.
You work a
or,
full-time
like,
job
outside
and do all the live streams?
Yeah.
You need to do fewer live streams and go fucking out and find a girlfriend. Jesus Christ.
Look, if you find
I
the
felt like that
girlfriend,
was
then
from like a disappointed parent.
that might be the end of.
I am slightly disappointed on the behalf of your parents. I know you like rugby, but come on, man. Priorities.
I would not put up with it, eh? Like,
26.
I'd be like, fuck, man, because they don't. You use their lounge all weekend long, every weekend.
No, I'm in the dining room now. I'm kind of like in a cubicle. So like,
can you show us? Can you
26?
Can you flip the camera?
What were you doing at 26?
Being useless.
I know,
pretty
but
much like the dining room.
At 26, a guy did some fun stuff.
Yeah.
Made some mistakes.
Yeah, I was doing that, but I didn't have like 100,000. Well, how many subscribers have you got now?
We're almost at 80K. We're getting
wow,
close.
That is pretty fucking
good.
impressive.
Great, man. Well done.
But you need to balance it.
Yeah. Maybe you don't have to do the sevens, and maybe you don't have to do every URC fucking game.
Pull back on one game a week and go around the town.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe only do 3 streams a week.
Have one night off.
Yeah. Go get some potang.
Your parents will love you for it.
Yeah, exactly. Let's consider this your intervention. No, but then but people online, they love him. That's why he's been so consistent. But the thing about it is you are a really fucking good caller. But you need to be able to convert that talent into real into some sort of form of income that's going to be able to give you a decent standard of life. Because you're working 2 full-time jobs, it seems, basically at the moment. And you can't do that forever.
You're going to burn the candle.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you're really. I remember listening to you for the first time, like way back when, and being like, you've got a really good voice. There's a really lovely timbre to your voice, and it's a real classic caller voice. Like people aren't like that's just natural. That just comes to you, and your ability to be able to be quick-witted and to be able to call the game as you see it accurately and with like a real color for people to be able to envision it in their mind's eye. There's so much that's not a skill that most people have. It's like a skill that 0.25% of the world have. So you should be utilizing that into some motherfucking money. Okay, so go. You've never contacted anyone about doing it, have you? You've just waited for things to come through the door. I feel like you need a manager.
Because I feel like it was when I tried to ages ago. I was going to do like an interview with some players or like try and do something, and that was like a couple years ago. I remember I reached out to probably like 150 players. No one responded. Right. So then I was like, okay.
I can kind of understand that because years ago I reached out to the Blues to try and get like a media pass, and they were just like, "Who the fuck are you? Like, you need to have some like bona fides to show that you're an actual journalist." And I was like, I have more subscribers than all the New Zealand Super Rugby teams put together, but they were just like, I don't care. So I get where you're coming from.
I think that's probably where you guys are actually similar, that you're both bitches in the same way.
I don't do shit either.
Yeah, he's the same. But like the only time I give him sort of the same sort of shits is like I have. I'm not massively successful, but I've been relatively successful outside of the YouTube world, like in life, like just in terms of, and you get fucked, or life is full of rejection. Life is full of like setbacks. Life is full of like having to stay buoyant and having to say like, even though like you've been kicked off the ride 3 or 4 times, you got to get back on. That's 100% part of it. You've just got to Like, yeah, you just gotta do it and put your head down, and because someone's gonna say yes, someone's gonna say yeah, and then once one person says yes, then you get more credibility and more credibility and more credibility. Then you get momentum, and then things start to actually really happen. So you've got all this credibility and all these skills within this space, but you've just got to take that and put it outside the space. So do you, ass face. There you go. Now I'm having a go at both of you. What are you doing?
Oh well.
Keep talking.
You're like, oh no, this is turned on me now, Mark.
I guess
Oh,
on that
oh,
note,
here we go.
we are
I
currently
have a thing for it.
about
So,
an
you
hour.
What's that?
I was about to say we are an hour after the stream. We've still got 58 people here as well. But so
Does
thank
anyone
you all
listen?
for watching this.
Does anyone agree with me?
We've got
YouTuber.
we've got Life is a Box of Chocolates from Mondo.
I agree with him.
And we've got we're having an intervention here. People, great stuff, says Thuds Race. And Tony, where's the suit?
Value. He's got a really good analytical brain
Yeah.
for the game.
Good on you, Thuds.
And what is happening, says Jack. That's a good question. Jack did just get here, so he's quite confused at why.
Yeah.
Two new
We're going
men on
for
the
a
screen.
profound moment of
We're
change.
supposed to be talking
line.
about the Crusaders' win over the Waratahs in their first ever game at their new stadium. And
But-
we're like, get a job, young man.
He had the job.
Get a girlfriend, young man.
Yeah, no. He's done so many things right. It's time to do some things wrong, maybe. Yeah.
Maybe. But on that note, ladies and gents, if you do want some information about the Crusaders and the Waratahs, 2 Cents Rugby, this man next to me in the blue hat, or the blue parts of the hat are blue, but it's the Blues hat in general, they just uploaded the video over on that channel. So what we're going to do is...
Although it's the same, I'm talking to this guy, so it's
You
kind
may
of
wanna
what you
get
get.
that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you haven't had your Tony fix, I'll put the link
you
there.
want
That
more,
is
so
their
he dropped the
review. If you
F-bomb
want
in my
more
video
of
as well.
Tony, did he? That will be less than the post-match of this one, but that's all
is
right.
true.
But nonetheless, thank you both for coming on. We might chat a little bit after the stream because I can end it before
Okay.
continuing this conversation. That feels like a meeting of some sort. But
Well done, Crusaders.
Well done,
It
Crusaders.
was a solid but not spectacular win, but a great way to celebrate your new stadium. It looks glorious.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, thank you all very much for watching. Super round tomorrow, 2 more games plus the URC all throughout the night, and then the 2 games on Sunday too. So be sure to
He's not
check
going to be
that out.
covering any of that because he's going out of
He's
town.
taking a night off and he's going to get some poutine.
But thank you all for watching. And we will see you all for the next one.
Next one.